This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, John Bellotti Jr. joins us to review Godzilla Minus One. Plus, reactions to trailers for Furiosa, the Mad Max prequel, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, The Boys Season 4, House of the Dragon Season 2, and more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, December 4th, 2023.
Could I sing the song? Jock and Nerdin. Spoiler alert. Jock and Nerdin. That's the theme song. I sang it.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. We talking, we nerding. We funny, disturbing. We talking, we nerding. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What's up, listener? Thanks for pressing play. Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And joining us, this guy, what's worse than Godzilla's atomic breath? It's this guy's slack hole surprise. It's Rugzilla. What's up, Rug Boy?
I've been known to melt a few cities with my slack hole. Yeah, set a lot of things on fire.
And joining us, very special guest. You all know him. You love him. He is the admin of our awesome Facebook group, Jock and Nerd Nation, talented illustrator, and our resident opinionated New Yorker, John Bellotti Jr. What's up, Bellotti?
Hey, how you guys doing?
How's it going? Thanks for joining us to geek out.
Well, I had to bully my way onto the show because you wanted me to send in a recorded review
that was a thoughtless.
The first Godzilla movie to be released in the United States since Shin Godzilla, since 2000. I have to roast you because
that was a thoughtless request.
You get shit from Tony because you always characterize me as Godzilla artist John Bellotti, and then you do a legit review of a Godzilla movie, and then don't ask me to be on.
I was planning
so
to
I had to intimidate,
did not
use all my mafia, my mafia connections to threaten myself onto this show.
Oh, that's why there was hired goons at my door. Oh.
Yeah, I had them tail you and your wife and your dogs home the other day.
Who's there? They were like goons, hired goons. I was like,
big guys.
Okay.
No, they don't announce themselves. You never see it coming. Don't you ever watch Sopranos?
One of you guys is wearing Godzilla pajamas right now, right? Come on, you got to celebrate.
Nope.
No.
Don't own a pair. Never will.
Pajamas?
Anthony?
Panties, yes.
G-string.
I'm wearing my
he's a G-string.
G-string.
Yeah, Godzilla
G-string.
That's a thong. Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing my Spider-Man underoos from when I was like 6 years old. It's cutting off circulation a little bit, but I don't care. I'm committed.
That doesn't even cover one of your ass cheeks.
No, it doesn't. I just had to put it on, slipped it on one leg and half an arm. That's enough. Anyways, get that mental picture going through your mind, listener. We have a lot of great things to geek out about. Let's get into it.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
We're going to warm up before we get to said Godzilla movie with a bunch of trailers because there was, what was that, Brazil Comic-Con CCXP going on. A bunch of trailers were released as part of this. Bellotti, look at how great this is. Not only is we have Godzilla topics in 3 different segments of the show, but I'm going to get you to react to another thing you love, the Mad Max Fury Road prequel trailer. One of your favorite movies, right?
Yes.
They just put out a trailer for the prequel, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. Of course, Furiosa, who's played by Charlize Theron, is now played by Anya Taylor-Joy. And we swap out the Tom Hardy with Chris Hemsworth with the prosthetic nose, I think, is what I saw. Let's start with you, Bellotti. What'd you think of this trailer? Does this get you hyped? George Miller writing, directing. He's 78 and still fucking making crazy badass shit.
Yeah, I'm totally hyped for this. In fact, when they announced it, like, I was of the mindset, like, I don't even care what it looks like. It's the same director in the same world. I want to see it. The only thing that I noticed that looks different than Fury Road I don't know if he leaned more into CGI. It does look a little bit cleaner, which I did like the dirtier, more practical aspect of Fury Road. Aside from that, I'm all in, man. It's George Miller. The dude's like Chris Nolan. It's like, oh, wait, he's making a movie about Oppenheimer? Sure, yeah, I'll go see it because it's Chris Nolan at this point, you know? So, yeah, I'm totally in for that movie. I'll be there opening weekend.
It did seem a little more like clean. Like I don't know if he uses the volume also. Like they use the volume in Batman, projected backgrounds, but still practical effects. Anthony, you checked this out. What does it do for you?
I did. You know, I'm not the biggest Mad Max fan, but I can appreciate what George Miller's done. Fury Road is obviously an all-time movie amongst action movies. We had it go far in the tournament. So, yeah, this looks good. I agree. I mean, it does look a little bit cleaner, but I also know that he's filming a lot of this stuff probably on set.
Yeah.
If you look at, like, the making of Fury Road, all that's mostly filmed on camera, and then they just, you know, contrast it a little bit, brighten up colors. But, yeah, I mean, this looks good, and Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actress already, and I like Chris Hemsworth, even though that doesn't look like him. That's Chris Hemsworth.
I know, it's almost hard to recognize.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not super jazzed about this because it's not my cup of tea, but it looks good, and it looks, you know, all the ingredients are there for a good movie.
There's a dude on a motorcycle on fire, like a Ghost Rider. I guess we're going to find out how she gets that fucking dope arm. Ruggs, what do you think of this and how Anya Taylor-Joy, will she fill the role?
I think she's going to be fine.
Yeah.
In the role, I feel like George Miller is still viable. I mean, Schwarzenegger is a similar age, and so is Stallone.
Yeah.
They're still around doing shit. I mean, Stallone's in movies, fucking taking punches and shit. So, yeah, he's still got the fucking things to do it. I mean, if you can run the country at 70, whatever, you could probably film a movie.
Yeah.
So, the ageism does not apply in this situation. I am looking forward to see what he does. If he does indeed stick to the practical effects and able to kind of give us some of those old world thrills like he did in Fury Road, expanding on the lore, the world building, getting to see how Furiosa, you know, came to be. And it seems like a longer story because I think Fury Road was like a couple of days, you know.
Right.
I feel like this takes place over a longer span of time.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting. I don't think they've done that before. I think all of the Mad Max movies have been
like a day or a week. That's true. But clearly you see her like younger and then as like a young adult and then with an arm and then with the fucking metal arm.
So it might fill in some stuff. It'd be nice to see. They've never actually touched upon a lot of that stuff. So
Chris Hemsworth appears to be having a ball even in this trailer. Just like having a good time. Bullets raining down on him as he's hanging on and shit. This is coming out May 24th next year. Should be a fun time. Listener, let us know what you think. You can join this conversation. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. Jock and Nerd. Bellotti is the admin. All you got to do is check one box saying that you're going to be cool. And then you got to stand on one foot and tap your stomach and rub your head.
It's real easy, guys.
And Bellotti will let you in. He will
real simple.
Open the
make my job harder.
He will open the red velvet rope and you come in.
Sons of bitches.
we got like how many people we got
enjoy
in that
the
group
vegan
now?
hot dogs?
Yes, come in. Vegan hot dog buffet. We'll have it waiting for you.
That sounds good.
What'd you say, Ruggs?
So how many people we got in that group now?
15?
No, there's like
No,
400
is it like-
something.
it's like
At least 19, right?
It's 22,
It's like,
I think.
It's like 400 and change, right?
Yeah, it's like 400 and change.
But only
Yeah.
5 people seem to comment.
Well, whatever. Other people are just learning.
Nobody
I
speaks
don't know.
English. No, I'm kidding.
Listen, it's a fun, closed group to geek out in. There's
Why is the group full of what seemingly looks like 18-year-old girls with 3 followers and 55 numbers attached to
or
their
like
name?
Indian bots that are?
No, we have our Latino section: Rick Martinez, Jose Ibarra,
Oh, yeah.
Jess Rivera. That's our Latin. I call them Latin heat. They're always like posting comments and stuff. I love those guys.
They're great.
Very engaging.
I like our demographics there.
Latins. The Latins. I'm married to a Latino, so
Yeah,
I could say all
you can
this
do
racist stuff.
Yeah, you can't say that. Oh, I love our group members. Join. Click it. Join. All right, let's move on to some more trailers.
Remember the last time Bellotti was on? We had to edit out some of the stuff he said.
It was a hard decision.
Oh, when I went after the Indians. Yeah, I remember that.
You stop it.
I don't know. Was it the Indians?
It was the Indians.
Listen, we get a lot of listenership from India. We love you guys. I had to make some hard editorial decisions, Bellotti. Don't make
Wow, let's see what ends up getting cut today.
Don't make me work. Let's see. Got a couple more trailers for some TV things. The Boys season 4. It's coming out sometime next year. They've got a official teaser trailer. Anthony, this is your jam. What did you?
I do like The Boys.
What did you think of this? What do we see? We get a lot of interesting things in this trailer.
You know, I forgot a lot of the things we saw because I watched this last week, but it looks like I'm playing it again.
Yeah.
It looks like we get in some new boys and girls members. It looks like there's a war in terms of like a culture war between Homelander and Starlight.
Yeah, two sides.
Right? And then the one takeaway I had is what's his name? Negan joining. What's that guy's
Jeffrey
name?
Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
So I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
He's great.
I won't say that it's his fault.
No.
His arrival on
Walking Dead.
was basically the death knell to that show. So
Yeah,
I hope that's not the case for this.
Yeah. That's when they kind of jumped the shark a little there. Yeah. But it wasn't his fault. It was just how they treated the arrival of Negan. Also, you notice Black Noir's in the fucking one of these shots. I thought he fucking died.
Oh, maybe there's a new Black Noir.
Oh, yeah.
Ruggs, what about the greatest line in here when she's like, "Who builds your monuments? Who tongues your taint?" I was like, that's amazing.
I was going to say that. That was the only thing that I took away from that trailer.
Who
I
tongues
was like,
your
someone
taint?
said Tate.
Yes, who tongues your taint is fantastic. You excited for this? What'd you think?
I like the strategy, the divide and conquer. You know, you have the people fight amongst themselves, and then they're going to need Homelander to come in and fucking stop all the madness. Like he had to in Gen V.
Yeah. That scene of the two protests, very eerily replicating real life in a lot of different places. So they always do a good job. Good job of that.
We're in the age of counter protesting.
Yeah.
Like there's always going to be like an equal force that's going to rise to your protest, and that's the great thing about this world. Anyway,
Bellotti, you watched The Boys? You've seen The Boys.
We started watching it and then we didn't get past the third episode and just never went back to it. It's a great show. I mean, it was what we saw. It might have been like the fifth episode. It is a little dark. It is a little like, I don't know, shows like that just leave that like that scene where Homelander and fake Wonder Woman are on the airplane.
Oh
and
my God.
And they just let everyone die. I mean, I don't know. Stuff like that's hard for me to watch.
Yeah, that comes.
It's like it's so pessimistic.
Yeah, that was
You know?
fucking.
that's my wheelhouse.
I know. I love that shit. That shit was dark and brutal.
I love pest. Like, give me Fight Club all day, every day. Like, I love that. But I don't know, man. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I was in a shit mood that day.
Dude,
It's not for everyone. I can say that. For real.
if
100%.
if that bothered you, the rest of the episodes don't get any fucking better. Like they do
I
some
know. That's why I just was
fucked
like,
up shit.
I'll just move on to Reacher.
The Boys does have a very nihilistic, dark tinge to it.
Nihilistic, that's probably the word. I'm not into like the nihilism stuff. Like I need some hope.
There
I
is
can't
hope,
have
but it leans very much the other way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It can't all just be when it's too much of one thing. I'm just like,
This is it's a very assholey show.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
don't
everybody's an
assholes.
asshole.
Yeah.
The good guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
The bad guys are assholes. Everyone's an asshole.
Yeah, there's no lines. There's no defined lines.
And I feel like that reflects our society the best.
Yes, that's why it's very like it's an amazing satire and commentary of what's happening in the real world with these superheroes. They do a brilliant job. So we just watched Gen V. They gave us a spinoff of The College, which was so fucking good, just as good as The Boys. And they're not done with spinoffs. They have announced another spinoff. This one is called The Boys Mexico. A Spanish language series set in Mexico. It's in the works with the Blue Beater writer Gareth Dunnett Alcazar, and Diego Luna and Gael Garcia Bernal are going to be producing, which is, of course, Andor and the Werewolf by Night dude. But is this going to be like Narcos Mexico, or they just fight Pablo Escobar? Like, this is interesting. What do you guys
It'll
think?
be
Narcos Mexico, they did not fight Pablo.
The
Escobar.
Hermanos.
What's the guy's name in Narcos Mexico?
I forget the
fucking
drug
bad
lord
guy,
name.
yeah.
What's the real guy?
Yeah, it wasn't Escobar. It was. Anyways, what do you think? Do you think this is this too much Boys, or are we down for a Boys Mexico spinoff?
Is it based on a book or anything? Or
You know what? I don't know, because Gen V was based on a few issues of The Boys where there was a college. I don't even know if this has any comic source material.
Huh.
I don't think it does.
I don't know, but it's very interesting that they're doing like a Mexican version of The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what's the reason? Like, does the show do well down there or something?
I don't know, but I think it's great.
Well, I mean, Gen V, when they said they were doing Gen V, I said the thing that destroys good TV shows is when they do too many spinoffs, but Gen V was good.
Yeah.
So they get carte blanche. They can do whatever they want right now.
It's a good point. They did a really good job with the Gen V. I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good.
I don't know what the reason is for this. It seems like it's unnecessary, but if they know that there's a market there for this and they know they're going to tap into it, let's see what happens.
Yeah, like are they going to do like the Boys Hungary or Bulgaria?
Yeah, every country. Boys India.
Romania.
Boys Bombay.
Mexico just seemed kind of like sort of out there,
Really? It's not that far away, actually.
It is
Well, it's not that far
out
away,
there. It's still connected.
down there.
Yeah, it's down there. We used to be Mexico. It's very close. Come on.
Oh, don't bring up those.
Jeez, we used to be Mexico.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Large part of the southwest of America was fucking Mexico.
Oh, that is
One
true.
point.
about? Oh,
We
you're
just the other
saying
land.
like we as in the
The
United
country.
States.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, let's move on to another trailer. This one for also a season 2 of a show that I kind of forgot what happened in season 1. I loved it. Of course, I'm talking about HBO's House of the Dragon. And they put out a season 2 teaser. And it's got dragons and it's got people. What were their names? Rhaenyra, Viserys, just names ending in anus.
Syphilis.
Yeah.
We got a ball. Yeah.
Does anybody remember? I kind of remember where it ended. You had the two girls
Yeah, I remember.
fighting. What happened? How did it end?
They were on the path to peace. Well, they weren't really. They were kind of, but then
They're trying, yeah.
One of the sons, Aegon.
Oh, right.
Is crowned as king,
Yes.
but Rhaenyra or Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Is it Rhaenyra?
I think it's Rhaenyra.
Venereal.
Rhaenyra is really supposed to be the queen, the next ruler, and they're both like recruiting houses, and they both send their sons over or relatives over to House Baratheon.
Right.
But Aemond is there first, gets House Baratheon's allegiance because he's going to marry one of them, and he starts fucking with I forget one of the kids. I think it's Lucerys' dragon.
Wow,
in
you
the air.
did remember a lot of this and all the names. Very good.
Yeah, he starts fucking with him,
Yeah.
and then the dragons like get tangled up, and then Aemon's dragon eats
Oh, that's right.
Lucerys' dragon and kills Lucerys. And Aemon didn't mean to do that, and now fucking Rhaenyra is really pissed, and it's going to be the start of the war.
And both sides have like dragons, right? Like the dragons
they both
got
have
split
dragons.
up. So you see some fucking cool dragons. When's this? This is also this summer coming back. I did love that season. I'm excited for this.
Man, I'm gonna have to watch like one of those reviews.
Yeah, we'll have to
Been
watch
so long.
a recap.
I
Right.
can't remember.
It's been a long
Well,
time.
I'll tell you what. We all liked House of Dragon. We all thought House of Dragon was awesome, and it was a return to form to Game of Thrones.
No, I remember that.
Yeah.
I just don't remember what the fuck happened.
Viserys dies.
Yeah, no, there was a lot that happened. I literally read the recap of the last episode after I watched the trailer, so that's how I kind of remember
good.
it. But yeah, I have to do one of those videos too.
Good.
It's
Bilotti,
great.
Bilotti,
House of Dragon's great.
you watch any of this, Bilotti?
No, you lost me as soon as you brought it up.
Shit. Come on.
I want to talk about a trailer that we didn't talk about.
What's that one?
It's not a movie. It's a video game. It's the new Grand Theft Auto.
Oh shit! This just
Dude,
came
it
out
looks
today.
so fucking crazy.
Really?
And there's a little bit, it's a little too much. There's literally like a lot of ass clapping. there's like women on top of cars, like making it their booty clap.
Ooh,
Hey,
Yeah, I guess they
I
released.
haven't
Whoa.
played GTA
Yeah.
in probably 14, 15 years at least. No, even longer. Probably 16 years.
It looks pretty epic, though. It really looks like a game changer.
They haven't put out a game in like 10, 13 years or something, right? There's been a big time between 5 and 6. And is it still in Vice City? I heard. I haven't watched this trailer yet, but it looks fucking. The graphics look amazing. Like
Yeah,
very
it's-
real.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy shit. I mean, Cyberpunk, when that came out,
Yeah.
it was like, wow, this is pretty cool. But this is like,
Well, there's a
another
chick
level.
on a car twerking. This has been
Yeah,
the
that's
game.
what I'm
It's
saying.
amazing. This is amazing.
They're doing the ceiling challenge. You know what that is?
No, what's that?
It's when you take your cell phone, your cell phone, and then you tape it to the ceiling.
Yeah, tape it to the ceiling, yeah.
So then it has like a downward shot, and you can show the world how you clap your ass cheeks together.
I see.
Holy
Yeah, I tried
shit.
it. It was pretty good.
Oh,
I did a good job.
Put that on TikTok. It'll go viral.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, one more trailer. This one, Bellotti, I know you have some thoughts about, because not only have we just gotten a new Japanese Godzilla movie in theaters, Legendary Side is putting out a movie next year, because they can't put movies out in the same year, right? Isn't that like the deal? Toho can't put out a movie the same year as Legendary.
I don't know the full details,
Okay.
but yeah, there's some stipulation I got there.
First trailer for Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, dropped this week, and holy shit, this is a fucking wild-ass
Yeah,
trailer.
it's Godzilla and Kong Wild Bikini Weekend, it looks like.
Just dive in, Bellotti. Tell us.
I wasn't expecting to go
thoughts.
this soon because I was talking about this earlier. A friend of mine's like, so what do you think of the trailer?
Yeah.
So I quoted a fireman friend who said this really funny line like 20 years ago. And he's like, bro, if you see a hot girl and a bad smell comes into the area, those ruin the hotness of the girl. And that's what this trailer was like. So Minus One was like this hot girl. I've never seen peace in the Godzilla fandom before until Minus One came out.
Wow.
I shit you not. I've never seen such universal positivity and love for a movie. There was no polarization. There's a few little things, but 99% of the people love the movie. It was so nice to be in the fandom for like a week.
Like 3 days.
And then
Until
for
this
like,
came out.
yeah, like even like we saw it this week. I'm actually seeing it for a third time tomorrow. I'm taking my brother because he wants to see it. And it's just been nice. Like, it's just like, wow, this is the Godzilla movie I always wanted. People are like, this is like an Oscar contender. I mean, we'll get into all that shit. And then this trailer drops last night, and holy shit, from like last night up until like 5 minutes before the podcast, the fandom is on fire again. Where like now the LGBTQ community is now claiming Pink Godzilla as their own.
It's Barb and Zilla.
People are attacking the concept illustrators. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. People are like getting ridiculed. So it's the bad smell. Like they could have just waited like one more week to show this.
Listen, some of my best Twitter fights were with people from Shin Godzilla.
But
Like
see, the
when
thing,
that
I
movie
know,
came
I know.
out, like it was. So let's talk about this trailer a little bit.
Yeah.
Because what's the reason for this? Anthony, what do you think? You saw the trailer. You're a big Godzilla fan. What was your take on it?
Did we ever get Bellotti's take on it? I think he did like a whole diatribe about like how the fandom, but we never got his actual. Do you want me to go first,
I
Bellotti?
think
or
I can infer that he doesn't like
Yeah,
it.
I think
I never said I didn't like it. So, all right, look, here's the thing. I hate the MonsterVerse. It's no secret. Yeah, okay, it brings fans in. That's great. It helps my bottom line. That's great. I understand. It's not my Godzilla. It's someone else's. Whatever. I don't give a shit. I've moved on to other things. I'm okay in my life. But seeing Godzilla and Kong on screen, like, it made me happy. I love seeing them together. It was like watching Lethal Weapon in monster form. And this movie looks like it ups the ante. So seeing those two fucking monsters running together at the end, I kind of smiled a little bit. I'm going to like watch it because I'm a sucker for this stuff, but I don't love it. I can like it and watch it. I just don't love it. It's not my Godzilla, and that's okay. It's fine. Everyone can have like a little piece. It's just not my piece. Anthony, more for you. Your turn.
Thank you.
Or you're welcome. Have an extra helping on me.
I like the MonsterVerse. I don't love the MonsterVerse. Godzilla versus Kong, when that came out, I really enjoyed that movie. I had a great time with it. That movie brought back fans to the theaters. It did really well in a terrible time for movies. So it looks like, with this trailer, I watched it. The first time I watched it, I went, wow. I don't know what the fuck I just watched there. And then I've watched it maybe 15 times since, and then watched other people's reactions to it. And Yeah, they're doubling, they're tripling down on the wackiness, and I'm cool with it. I completely am. I'm on board. I'm not saying this is like my favorite variation of Godzilla, but what they're doing is full on late '60s, early '70s show era Godzilla.
Yeah, there's tons of Showa and even Millennium references in this movie.
Oh,
and
I mean, this is, while this is wacky, this is on par for as wacky as Godzilla can get. I think there's room for all variations of Godzilla. I think the CGI could be improved, but at the end of the day, I think there was some fun stuff that I saw in that trailer. I know people are harping on the pink Godzilla and the mechanical arm on Kong and the weird-looking Scar King, but fuck it. It's fine. It's fine. And I'll say this, and this is something that Wild Action Bill also said, but I completely agree. At this point, Legendary is playing with house money because the Godzilla 2014, which is insane that it's in this universe, that was pretty serious. That was a very grounded Godzilla. I had a lot of fun with the second half of that movie. I enjoyed the scale of it. The second Godzilla, King of the Monsters, was big budget variation of all the monsters I grew up loving. Rodan, Mothra, King Ghidorah. So I got that. Then the third one was like bonkers Godzilla versus Kong. So at this point, they're just playing with house money. They could do whatever the fuck they want. I don't really care. I'm down for it. It's cool with me. So yeah, I like the trailer.
But to start a fight over it like these people were doing,
that's unnecessary.
Like I understand the pink thing, but it's like,
okay, can I ask why he's pink?
He well, I don't want to say because I kind of know something, but he basically evolves. I know how
she evolves.
Oh, yeah. She evolves.
No, they evolved.
Yeah.
Yes.
They evolved.
Insensitive son of a bitch. Yeah. So Godzilla evolves, and now he's pink. But like Godzilla had like the pink thing going in the Millennium films, and he comes out of the iceberg like in King Kong vs. Godzilla, and he's running like in Final Wars, and
dude, him and Kong are running like fucking Apollo and Rocky at the end of that fucking movie. It's
I couldn't help but smile after a while watching them two run.
You know what? This is like, for me, I'm a little more outside the Godzilla fandom look. I like that Legendary's giving us this and Toho is giving us the other thing. It's a character, of course, that can be translated so many ways. Kong has the fucking Infinity Gauntlet. There's a baby Kong. There's people in Hollow Earth. My only, the thing I did not like is that fucking Bernie podcaster character is back. He's the worst. Why? And you notice how like every movie, one more person drops out. Like Millie Bobby Brown's like, fuck this shit. I'm out. No Kyle Chandler. We're left with Brian Tyree Jones. But there's lots of Kongs, and Scar looks fucking crazy. Like this was crazy. Like this is junk food and I'm here for it. I will absolutely enjoy this. It's like a Michael Bay. I think you said it in the chat. It's like a Michael Bay Transformers where it's lost all verisimilitude that like the first one may have had. But fuck it, it's like a crazy cartoon now, and it looks.
It's Transformers, but you can actually
tell what they are.
Yeah, you can tell what the fuck they are. All right, go for it, Ruggs.
All right, there's a lot to unpack here, so let me try and get through it here. Let's just start off by saying this is the best time possible if you're a Godzilla fan.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. So there is a TV show on Apple. There's a Japanese movie that just came out that is like high level filmmaking. There are already about the MonsterVerse is in full swing. There's animation out. There's a comic book where he's fighting the fucking Justice League right now.
Oh yeah,
there's the 70th anniversary fan films that come out that show various different Godzillas, including the Final Wars Godzilla fighting fucking Jet Jaguar. All right. We have so much great stuff. If you're a Godzilla fan, you're oversaturated with stuff. So, yes, there's all kinds of Godzilla stuff, and Godzilla spans many kinds of genres and levels of seriousness and fun and blah, blah, blah. If it's wrestling in rubber suits, whatever you want to call it. The only thing that I was kind of crestfallen about when I watched the trailer is that I felt like there was a visual drop in quality of like the CGI, and it seems to be like, remember when Pacific Rim and then Pacific Rim Uprising came out?
Yeah,
and there was that noticeable drop in like the reality of how these things move, and and the amount of like, I don't know, impact that it had on screen. And even though Pacific Rim Uprising was filmed like and shot or whatever, the graphics are all in the middle of the beginning of the day and bright lights and everything. And the other Pacific Rim had a smaller budget and did everything in the dark. It still had more power. It still seemed more grandiose and better. And this kind of gave me the same feeling, like it drops in quality. As far as the pink Godzilla stuff is I don't really care that the color is pink. I know it's a nod to Millennium, and that I just don't. Number one, I don't think it looks good. I don't think it looks good. I think it looks like on the back scales, it's fine, but when it goes up on his face, it looks like they actually just like Photoshop painted it in. It doesn't look like it belongs there. It feels very much like an afterthought. It doesn't feel like it's designed that way properly. So I feel like as a design, in a design way of judging it, I really don't like the way it looks. I also don't like the fact that in the Millennium, he had a green, like this dark green that offset the purple or the pink, and that makes it better. It's like it's a color contrast. And here it's like a light gray.
Yeah, he's just great.
And it doesn't really add any pizzazz to it. So I feel like that doesn't look right. Besides that, the running and all that stuff, that's all like, okay, you've already dropped the quality down. Now, like the movements, they obviously wanted to make Godzilla more of a brawler in this. So longer arms, more punching, blah, blah, blah. You have that to look forward to. I'm cool with that. But the thing that I also hate is this discourse now that we have because they colored Godzilla pink. And like, I never wanted that to be a conversation in the Gods. Like, let's talk about like him being silly and running weird, whatever. That's all up for, but now we have to talk about this too. Like, it's a Godzilla movie. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
So the fact that they did that, knowing that it was going to stoke these kinds of conversations, and they knew that they were doing it. How could you not know if you're going to color Godzilla pink that it wasn't going to have some kind of effect? There's going to be people who are insecure and that need to comment on it, blah, blah, blah. So now we're dealing with this stupid conversation.
This is a Godzilla that is on its way to see the Barbie movie. That's all.
Yeah.
No, look, we're saying pink, but it's magenta, really, which is just a fancy word for pink.
Yeah, it's still pink.
It's magenta. Okay, as far as the effects, it's possible it's a trailer. They may not be done. But do you think that's also maybe because, like, there's a lot more. There's, like, these wolf characters and a lot more monsters and all these
probably more CG.
A lot going on in this fucking trailer. And,
but not too much.
Can somebody explain to me where the light comes from in Hollow Earth? Where if there's ground above you and below you, and it's where's the light come?
The Earth's core.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Is the sun.
No, but that's on the inside. This is all inverted.
Yeah, that's the Earth.
No.
It's the Earth core that acts.
And there's people down there. There's a whole civilization down there of people.
Yeah, it's very Godzilla vs. Megalon.
Yeah.
Like they should be roasting.
Yeah,
everything should be on fire.
Everything should be out. Just there should be nothing.
I have a question. So, 2 comments real quick. 1 comment, 1 question. I do think we are so far from 2014 in terms of the scale. Like, now that they're in Hollow Earth, it really does. Like, you don't even know. There's a ton of shots where it doesn't even look like they're giants anymore, right? It look like they're just regular animals moving around, like the size of humans. So that is lost, and that's already gone. That's been gone for a bit now. The one question I have is, I wonder, like, what is so badass about Scar King that like you need Godzilla to help?
Looks like Carl Reiner.
Yeah, he's bald. He looks like me in the future. That's what
I don't want to ruin it for you, but there's another mystery kaiju in here.
So,
that's the real big bad.
Don't spoil it.
I kind of felt that there was another monster also, and that Scar King.
It's out there. Yeah. Everyone knows what it looks like. There's a silhouette in one of the movies. I can't remember which one, and the name is out there. There's some artists on Instagram. The dude is like, he has been like, so I saw all these designs like months ago. I will not reveal my sources, but they were like working models for toy companies because they got to get the toys out months in advance. Yeah. And this artist, I swear to God, I don't know how this guy's not getting shut down, but he keeps sharing his quote unquote fan art.
Yeah, but it's
of the new Titans, but they look a little too exactly like the renderings from the studios.
Wow.
And so I saw this and I'm like, this dude's going to get shut down. Like, and I can't remember what his name is, and I'm not even going to repeat it, but it's out there.
Send it to me.
I will send it to you. Because I literally, like, after I saw the artwork in August, I went on Instagram and saw this. I'm like, why? How is this guy how is he not getting shut down by Legendary? It's crazy. But to see the other monster, it's out there. If you look, it's not hard to find.
Well, that would make sense because I didn't think that Scar King alone would be a big enough foe.
Somebody's eating the Kongs, clearly attacking all these Kongs and eating them.
He's feeding it to them.
Oh, or maybe
that's probably what it is.
Feeding it as an offering.
I'm guessing, so I don't have any inside knowledge. I'm just guessing.
And that little baby Kong, he's cute. That's not like Kong's baby. Kong's not the baby daddy, but maybe
he looks like Scar King of Scar King's ilk.
Yeah, he looks like an orangutan.
I read a fan theory that Scar King is like Genghis Khan, and he killed all the guys, and he just fucks all the women Kongs, and all the spawn are his.
And that's one of the kids.
Interesting.
Well, at some point, Kong's arm gets severely injured, and he's got to somebody's got to make this thing. I don't know who makes it, but that glove, the power glove, looks amazing.
Power glove.
The Infinity Gauntlet.
He's got an Infinity Gauntlet.
What this movie needs to do is just do the best they can to just minimize the humans, get the humans have the humans take us from point A to point B, and just if this has fantastic kaiju action, that's all I'm going to need. That's all this needs to be.
How come no one has brought up Rebecca Hall's new haircut?
Rebecca Hall is playing a character named Eileen Andrews. She
doesn't even need to be in the. I don't even need to know her name.
Dan Stevens is also featured in this. He's a great fucking actor.
Who? I don't care.
He's great. And then,
don't care.
But why bring the podcaster back? He was the most annoying fucking character in that last movie.
I know.
He was probably cheaper than Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh yeah, she's way too much, and she's like, I'm a fucking with
I'm
this
cool
shit.
with it.
Yeah.
Spend it all on the CGI.
Yeah.
Make more monsters.
Yeah, well, it's all right. Come on, Adam Wingard.
Jump every shark.
Adam Wingard directing again.
Line up 20 sharks in a row and jump all of them.
I'm there. I'm there for it. If this is like Godzilla Fast and Furious. It's great.
I have a question though. Is this the last one?
Oh,
I don't think so.
It depends.
They're not using Toho monsters that I know of, other than Godzilla.
No, I think they were struggling after King of the Monsters. It's like I was saying last night that they thought they hit. Edwards flamed out. He didn't want to continue and whatever. They realized.
Well, they originally wanted Edwards to do a trilogy, but then once they had realized they could bring Kong, they were like, "Oh no, they don't."
Well, yeah, and then they brought in Michael Dougherty, and he brought all the Toho stuff, and that movie failed spectacularly, which shocked me that they made Godzilla vs. Kong, but I think they realized
they already had started making it. I think.
They were they Justice League that shit,
but they pivoted clearly,
which was Legendary's,
But they gave us Kong Skull Island in the meantime also. So that was a good way.
I think the success of that movie gave them some confidence to continue with Godzilla vs. Kong. So Wingard comes in and they're like, yeah, do whatever you want, Adam. And he just made this fucking Three's Company TV show of a movie and it hit and it did well. And they're like, okay, well, this is the template going forward. So we're not going to use the Toho monsters. We're going to lean in on the Titans, but just have Godzilla. And just go forward. I feel like they'll continue this for as long as they can, honestly, with this template.
I also think the main villain in Godzilla vs. Kong that they teamed up against was still a Godzilla villain. So I think it kind of makes sense to be like, okay, let's lean towards a villain on the Kong side this time.
Yeah. And there's they open up a whole world of possibilities of Middle Earth?
Hollow Earth.
No, Middle Earth. Middle Earth is the other one.
Lord of the Rings.
Hollow Earth, right?
Yeah,
It's who made this temple and what there were so many answers, so many questions you had, and it seems like thankfully this sort of delves into it 4 movies later for some reason, and I feel like they're going to answer a lot of questions and sort of lean into because people are like, oh, Godzilla's not going to get enough screen time. It's you don't know that. How do you know that?
Yeah,
I
think Ruggs, if this does well, we'll see more. If it doesn't, then
they pivot again.
We'll pivot to something else.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy that we got this many.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you can apparently, it's very apparent that they're trying to just squeeze the last bit of juice out of Godzilla's titties. They're just milking it for all it's worth, trying to get as many toys designs as they can out there. Hey, we already have a red Godzilla. We need a pink one now.
Yeah, for the girls.
Yeah.
So, a black pink one.
Black pink.
So,
yes, put it have it sponsored.
Yeah, we'll cross promote with the Korean pop band.
Black pink Godzilla. That's an amazing marketing move. You can thank us later, Legendary. No,
I enjoyed it.
yeah. If look,
After about 10 watches, I went, fuck it. I like it.
fun. Like if this is like a summer popcorn blockbuster action flick, it's fucking perfect. It's the kind of shit I want to see. And eat some popcorn. Okay. All right. Let's take a break here. We're gonna play some promos and talk about the other Godzilla, perhaps a much better Godzilla, right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
What's up, Jock and Nerd Nation? This is Logan at Mostly Superheroes, a podcast that was partly inspired by the Jock and Nerd podcast. We talk about a lot of the same stuff, MCU, DC heavy, with other content that comes out of HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and more. We're committing to doing something new every day in 2021, so come join the fun, check out the schedule. Find us at mostlysuperheroes.com and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hey, this is Matt.
And Jesse.
We host American Slacker Podcast, your weekly rundown for weird news, entertainment suggestions, and unique games.
Every other week, we bring on guests from all walks of life, like comedian Mark Forward of Letterkenny.
Yeah, we just call it tuna up here. We're pretty clear that it's a fish.
And NYC stand-up powerhouse Ian Fidance.
I would have fucking punched you in the fucking face with positivity and fun, motherfucker.
Actor Brandon Crane of Stephen King's It.
There's a lot of the work that I did, like Wonder Years to It, they were all very, period 50s, 60s, and chucks were all the rage.
And Art the Clown from Terrifier, David Howard Thornton.
They also had to make a mold of my face while I was there, so that was kind of claustrophobic in itself.
Musician Dan Simons of Just Surrender.
First time ever going on a tour, you remember every step.
And Nick Thompson of Hit the Lights.
All the stuff that I think that people go through life, and it's just like my outlet for that.
Watch the video version of American Slacker on our YouTube channel and listen to our show on your favorite podcast app.
New episodes every Wednesday. Visit our website, aspodcast.com, for everything American Slacker.
That's it.
There you go.
Jock and Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show, this is a great time to give back. To join our Patreon fan club community, visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
And you can support us on a monthly or annual basis and get stuff like access to an exclusive podcast feed where the shows come out early. There's bonus content, instant reactions. We put them all up for the movie we're about to review. We're up. There's an extra bonus movie review up there right now, a Patreon pick. You could join us on our monthly Discord Hangouts. Also, December's Discord Hangout is Thursday, December 14th. That'll be next week, I think. It's coming up. And a bunch of other fun stuff. And you'll be giving back. And we appreciate everyone's continued support. It keeps the show going. jockandnerd.com/Patreon for all the details. Okay, let's get to some more Godzilla. We are going to be reviewing Godzilla Minus One. Here are your spoiler alerts.
Run! It's Godzilla! Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time!
Okay, look, here's the thing. I'm actually really excited just to hear you guys discuss this fucking movie. So let me just set it up, and I'm going to try to shut the fuck up for a little bit.
Thank God.
This is Godzilla Negative Integer -1 from Toho, Japanese Godzilla. It is a 37th film in the Godzilla franchise and Toho's 33rd Godzilla movie. What is this current era of these films called?
Reiwa.
Okay, so it's the fifth film.
Ray Dong Chong era.
It's the fifth film in the Ray Dong Chong era. And of course, Godzilla first appearing in 1954. So we are celebrating right now the 70th anniversary of Godzilla, which is wild.
Younger than George Miller.
Yeah, younger than George Miller. And Dolly Parton.
And my dad.
Oh, wow. Godzilla's an old man. On Rotten Tomatoes, Godzilla Minus One right now holding a 96% fresh rating out of 85 reviews. 8.3 out of 10 is the average rating. 98% audience rating. This is the highest rating for any Godzilla movie. The budget of this movie is just a crazy number. $15 million. This thing just
Holy
15
shit.
million. 1-5. Not 5-0. Not 200 million. 15 million. And it was released in 2,308 theaters in the U.S., which is almost like half of the theaters, which is also wild. It opens to a domestic box office of $11 million. Currently worldwide, it's sitting at $34 million. Now, that's not a lot, but they've already doubled their movie. This becomes the largest opening for a foreign film this year and the biggest domestic opening for a Japanese live-action film ever. Pretty crazy. The creative mind behind this, directed, written, and visual effects supervised by Takashi Yamazaki. Bellotti, what do you know about this guy? What do we know about him?
He is the 4th highest grossing director in Japanese history.
Ooh.
He is basically the Spielberg / Cameron of Japanese film directors. He directed he actually designed the Godzilla for the Godzilla the Ride, the 3D virtual reality experience.
Whoa.
And this Godzilla is based on that design. And he also did the first CGI Godzilla in his movie. Oh God, I'm gonna forget the name. Always Sunset. Always Sunny in Philadelphia
Part
or something.
2 or something, right?
Always Sunset on Miracle on 34th Street. Anyway, yeah, he had this scene where they flash back to like the Showa era of Japan, and there's a CGI Godzilla attacking, and people are like, "Whoa, that looks cool!" And it looked amazing. And and this guy also directed a movie about a kamikaze pilot called I forgot the name.
Interesting.
That had a lot of I didn't see the movie, so I can't make a judgment call because it's a very, very hot topic, which we'll get into in -1. But there was talk of him glorifying kamikaze pilots, but then he sort of defended it and said, no, it's an anti-war film.
Yeah.
And so there was some worry that this was going to be like a very nationalistic Godzilla movie again, especially like right from the get-go, the guy's a kamikaze pilot.
Yeah.
So that's about all I know about the director. I know he's a huge Godzilla fan, and I know he's got ideas for sequels, and he wants to keep going, but he didn't want to make this movie until the visual effects were what he wanted to be.
Sure.
Like, kind of like Cameron. Like, Cameron didn't want to make Avatar until like the technology was where he wanted it to be. So when he saw Shin Godzilla, he's like, oh, okay. He's like, we're almost there. And apparently they approached him several times. And I think, I could be wrong, it's a speculation, but I feel like they approached him before they went to Anno. I can't confirm that though.
Before Shin. Okay.
Yeah, because he started working on this movie in 2020, he said. That's when he started writing it.
Well, I mean, that's the closest comparison. Like the fact that he wrote, directed, and did the visual effects, like that's James fucking Cameron right there.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, because he started as an effects guy.
Yeah, that's so great because you have control over your vision from top to bottom.
Right.
Anthony, let's start with you. This movie's PG-13, 2 hours, 4 minutes, subtitled. What happens in Godzilla Minus One?
Godzilla Minus One takes place towards the end of World War II in Japan, where we have a kamikaze pilot who cannot kamikaze. And because of that, he ends up on an island and encounters a monster that further traumatizes him, or adds more trauma to his already disappointment in himself.
Yeah.
And this man has to come back to Japan, deal with the disappointment of not fulfilling his mission, deal with the loss of a family, the loss of a city, the loss of everything, and then also has to deal with the fact that the stuff of nightmares that he witnessed towards the end of the war has come back even stronger.
And just you guys dive in. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Give us your start. Who wants to start? Overall thoughts.
Why don't you call on someone?
Yeah, come on.
Come on, host.
Anthony, I want to start with you then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I saw this Wednesday night for a Godzilla fan event screening. I'd say the theater was probably half full, but with Godzilla fans there, I mean, literally when the Toho logo came on the screen, people were clapping.
Wow.
Which I've never seen before. Never been in a theater for that. God. I mean, dare I say, I haven't seen every movie this year, but one of the best movies I've ever seen this year.
Wow.
I've ever seen, maybe ever. One of the great movies I've seen. Definitely one of the best movies I've seen this year. Yeah, I mean, they just fucking nailed it. I was riveted. I was, sitting up during certain scenes. I think there's so much to dive into, but the big thing for this is literally probably the first Godzilla movie. And granted, I seen a lot of the movies when I was a kid, so I didn't give a fuck. But this is the first Godzilla movie where Godzilla wasn't on screen, and I was just as into the story as if he was on the screen.
Wow.
Like I gave a fuck about the characters. I gave a fuck about like Godzilla potentially killing some of these characters. I cared about this guy's story. I thought it was an awesome story. I thought it was very well written. It was just I've never seen a Godzilla film that good.
Well, apparently it's
in
so
a long
good.
time.
It's so good. Breaking news that they are extending its theatrical run through December 13th.
Oh, nice.
Just broke.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because it's supposed
Well, that's
to run
good.
until the 7th. Yeah, so it's the highest grossing Japanese movie ever released in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, we can dive into like specifics, but man, I mean, I literally walked out of the theater. I was like, I don't know if I've seen a better Godzilla film.
Wow.
It potentially is up there with the first one.
Bellotti, give us your theater experience, overall thoughts. Why did it take them so long to actually put riveting characters in a Godzilla movie?
I think it was fear, and I think lack of trust in their filmmakers. I mean, I don't know. It's Toho is they're a very peculiar company, but either they exert stifling control over their property, or they just like do like a Final Wars and be like, here's $1 billion, make the movie you want, and they kind of just pray to God that it does well. I mean, that's what it looks like. My theater experience was great. I saw it on November 20th for a very special press screening at Japan Society in Manhattan.
Ooh.
And yeah, thank you again, Peter. You are an amazing human being. And so I went with a gaggle of us. Dope Hope joined us. And we had a great time. But I do this thing with highly anticipated movies. And I did it with the first Avengers movie, where the whole time I'm just so excited that I don't pay attention. So when the movie was over,
You're like, what did
my friend Chris turns around and like he's a little glassy eyed. My friend Raymond sitting next to me, I see him wiping away tears. And I was like, oh, you guys like that, huh? I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, and it was weird. Like, I didn't embrace it. And the whole time, like every time Godzilla was on screen, I was laughing and smiling because he was such a dick. And this is like the Godzilla I've always wanted to see. But I had no strong opinion and I was worried. I'm like, oh, fuck, is this another Shin Godzilla? Am I going to be like 50-50 on it like I am with that movie? So then my friend Chris had like IMAX tickets to go see it in Manhattan. And I was like, oh man, but it was 9 days after we saw the press screening. So we saw it in IMAX and I fucking loved the movie. Like I walked out of there like, this is a masterpiece. And I don't say that about, like Fury Road, 100% a masterpiece. Die Hard, T2, masterpieces. Goodfellas. This is up there with them. Wow. And I didn't have that reaction the first time because like I said, I was too excited, and I felt like the second viewing, the human stuff moved at a brisker pace. It got to the Godzilla stuff quicker. I paid attention to so much more of the symbolism of what Godzilla is and why it is, and it answered some of my initial questions about the movie. And it was great, man. People were clapping, and they were, they didn't give it a standing ovation, but there was a lot of yelling in the theater, like good yelling, like when the movie was over. And we had a great time, man. We had a great time in both screenings. And seeing it for a third time tomorrow, taking my brother because, he liked Shin Godzilla because of the allegory aspects of it. So I've been sort of building this up for him, and he really wants to see it because he does like Godzilla movies. And I keep telling him, like, no, Bob, it's a real movie. It doesn't feel like a Godzilla movie. I mean, it's basically Jaws with Godzilla.
Yeah.
And you don't leave the movie saying like, oh, well, it was Godzilla. No, you felt like you just ate a full meal, like a good, healthy meal. I just haven't had that with Godzilla since GMK, maybe, where I was like, even in that movie to me is like an 8 out of 10, and mostly because of the ending. But this movie, it's just, like I said, it's just surreal that I have the Godzilla I've been wanting and screaming about. That it's like, how do you fuck up a Superman movie, right?
yeah.
Like, it's not hard. And this director cracked the code. Like, he not only jumped into the Bikini Atoll nuclear test, origin story, but he made it relevant. Like, he modernized it, even though it's a period piece. And like, he brought back Godzilla's proper origin for a modern audience. And I don't even like go off on a tangent here, but they could literally spawn an entire new series from this going forward. And I hope they do, because they definitely laid groundwork for it, certainly by the end, to continue this as a new Godzilla series. So that was my long-winded initial reaction to the movie.
Ruggs, your turn. Theater experience, opening
I actually went. I was there for Bellotti's second round.
Okay.
I was there, and I was happy to be there. This IMAX theater, great sound system, beautiful picture, a huge screen, and I knew about 20 minutes in that this was a different type of Godzilla movie. I was like, oh, this is a filmmaker who knows what he's doing. And let me just go off on a little quick tangent. I'll be right back. Creating any kind of character that stands a 70-year test of time, it's an impossibility. It's unfathomable to do something that connects with some group, a fandom, for this long. And the hubris that all these directors and all these corporate people at Toho that are so up their own ass, they don't recognize what they have there. But this director did. And just went by the playbook. Godzilla's a sea monster. He hangs out at Odo Island. And boom, like he got up, and then he got affected by the nuclear blast and became large, and is now the penance that from that nuclear advent, and it's that simple. And then you incorporate the anti-war stuff or the commentary on society, and there you got it. It was in the original movie. It's all right there, right in front of you. It didn't have the oxygen destroyer, which I would have liked, and I would like maybe an extra scene of destruction, maybe a little bit more of the mystical shit, supernatural, Odo Island stuff. But notwithstanding, even though it has things missing that I would want in the movie, it still does its job very well. It entertains you. It doesn't insult your intelligence at all. It thrills you. It gives you, for $15 million, amazing. What's up on screen?
Yeah,
it is a triumph of I don't know, of just spending the money correctly or working people to the bone and enslaving them. I don't know what they do in Japan, but whatever they did for $15 million, they got it up on screen. And like, Hollywood should stand up and take note and go, all right, this is what $15 million can get you.
Hollywood should be embarrassed.
They really should, actually. Yeah.
And it is traditional filmmaking. This is going back to like filmmaking in the 80s. This is filmmaking in the 70s, where like story was paramount, and you had to have something to pull you along in the story, not just as a plot device, but as an emotional device. And everything just hit. And this is the best. I think this is as good as the first one. And for its time, I think it's, it's the best Godzilla movie. Now, like, the first one was the best because of its time, and then I feel like this is the best that we have now. Because it stands on the shoulders of the first one. So I thought it was an incredible movie. I was very happy with it. And the way it ends, it's open for further movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like completely over. And just as a film, it does its job. Like, even I think John Campia said this. Even the worst shot of Godzilla is still a poster.
Yeah.
Like, every shot that he's in is so well thought out and blocked out so well that There's one goofy shot in the whole entire thing. There's one goofy shot where Godzilla looks really goofy.
Which one?
This where they try to make him walk to the train, I think, or something
he's
like
kind
that.
of have like a very methodical, lumbering walk.
That's the only scene where he looks like Shin walking forward.
Yeah,
He's
where
so
yeah,
big,
where he
though.
looks like
Yeah.
where he looks like you can tell it's CG.
But when he's in the water, he's fucking full.
Oh, in the water, it looks like a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
No, the water is that's where they excel at every level. The water was great. Some people didn't like the eyes. I like the eyes. I think the eyes made him terrifying.
Yeah.
I liked everything about this. I would like if I were in charge, I would put some fangs and ears on that thing just to like finalize it and make it 100% canon.
Yeah.
But this design is so close, and it in every way exudes Godzilla that you can't deny that it embodies everything that you ever wanted to see in a Godzilla film. So yeah, I could be a stickler and fucking pick it apart and things that I want, but at the end of the day, it still does not take away from the fact that you could show this to a person who doesn't like Godzilla and they would still probably like this movie.
Absolutely. So
you could show this movie to like your mom.
Yeah. No, that's why. I'll add real quick my theater experience. And I saw it the Thursday before it opens on Friday. And there was like 30 people in this little theater. And it was like a lot of people, I thought, for, a Japanese subtitled movie. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It is super accessible. It is, you don't have to be in the Godzilla lore to get this. The brilliance of just the story of the point of view character, like that story alone, a kamikaze pilot who can't follow orders, does not want to be sent to his death, comes back. He's blamed for not killing himself, and he has survivor's guilt, PTSD. That story alone is fucking fascinating.
He could have killed Godzilla.
He was right there, so he's got double guilt. He couldn't pull the trigger. And then to add Godzilla and put his origin in that amazing, like all the side characters were great. The main character, Akiko and Noriko, and that whole thing. And I was so happy that she was still fucking alive at the end. And every time Godzilla shows up, it's used to full effect. He is terrifying. He is every time I was like, how the fuck you stopping this fucking thing? There's no stopping him. He's unstoppable. He inspires awe. It was fucking amazing. And I just got so invested in these characters. In the beginning, I was rooting for Godzilla. I wanted him to fuck all those boats up. This is fucking fantastic. But then you see what happens with the shockwave and the main character and Noriko, and you kind of get on his side. And by the end, I'm like with the human characters. So it had me going both ways. And like the sets were amazing. The periodness of amazing. It's emotional. It's bleak. It's dark. And the fact that they get demolished by the blast and they got to rebuild. And then that scene with his atomic breath where he just destroys fucking Tokyo in the distance. And then the ensuing shockwave back. I was out loud. I was like, holy shit, out loud in the theater. It was amazing. That's like my favorite scene, I think, in the whole movie.
It's crazy because this is what I thought 14 was going to be. And a lot of people have been saying that. And, growing up, right? Like, how many times did we say to each other, like, I'd love to see the Heisei era with modern computer graphics, modern effects work. And for years, like, all we had was 14 and then King of the Monsters and Shin and the anime. And you're like, I'm never going to get what I want, and I get it. Like, all right, you're never going to get what you want sometimes, and all I wanted was to see like the dark origins of Godzilla. Like, what is he, and I felt like they were getting so far away from his nuclear origins. Even in Japan, they were with the Millennium stuff, they were getting away from that. And, it's understandable from their perspective, but he was just a nuisance at that point. It wasn't like he wasn't this spirit of vengeance, basically.
Yeah,
and I was what?
No, I was gonna say, what are some of the things this Godzilla is a metaphor? What does he represent in this?
Oh, that's easy. I mean, watching it. Well, let me just finish my thought first. Because I was like in despair, like these characters.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm never gonna get the Godzilla I want to see. And like Rug Boy said, like the fucking template was there. It's the Superman template. Like how do you fuck up something like chocolate, you know? It's not hard. Like, seriously, how do you fuck up chocolate, sugar, and cocoa? It's not that hard. And they kept fucking it up. And it's like, okay, we got the legendary stuff. All right, I guess it's Godzilla, and it's fully realized, and it looks beautiful. And for them to pull this off the way they did, and it looks like the Heisei Godzilla, and to give you a story with human characters you care about, and amazing music, and.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, I can't believe this. And what was the other question you just asked me? Oh, the metaphor. Watching the movie the first time, to sort of piggyback on Rug Boy, how, you know, I kind of wish there was a little bit more Odo Island, but they kind of just condensed it all to one line from the soldier saying the Odo Island natives call it Godzilla.
That's in the first movie, right? Odo Island.
The first movie, they go pretty deep with the natives.
Oh, okay.
They do like the whole, like it's a whole like 20-minute sequence with the natives. And I kind of get, and basically one of the lead characters is like an adopted islander from Odo Island, who's like one of the main characters. And then they brought him back in Destroyer. So I got to understand why he didn't want to do that, because then he's just doing a shot for shot remake. So I could see artistically why he just condensed it all to that one scene. And then it's like, well, is this the first time Godzilla's coming on land? Like, and what he does is he goes right after the soldiers. If you notice, he doesn't eat them. He just tosses them.
Oh, that's the best part. I thought
he just throws them.
Chomps on them and flips them.
into the nothing. He throws them into like a void.
That's great.
So you're watching, it's like, okay, this is an angry Godzilla. He is hunting people.
Yeah.
Like terrifying. Like he's like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. He's hunting them. And then he's like, you know, hanging out in the ocean, and they set off this nuclear weapon, and you see it affect him.
Yeah.
And he comes ashore, and he's just destroying ships. He's just destroying everything that's military related. And he gets to shore, and he, you know, there was speculation that they drop a nuke on him because of that scene in the movie. But when he fires his blast and it turns into a cloud, like a mushroom cloud, at first I was like, oh, okay, that's like, you know, it's like kind of like Shin, but like he is the nuclear weapon.
Yes.
And then when he roars at it, it was so clear to me that he's roaring in defiance. He's roaring in vengeance. He's basically saying like, you fucking created me. You made me this mutant monster when I was just, all I would do was just go fish, like eat fish.
That's the thing.
And
He was just
he wasn't-
chilling.
he was just a territorial aquatic creature.
Yeah.
When he comes ashore, he doesn't have the fire breath.
Yeah,
He
he's,
doesn't have
he's
the fire
smaller, right? In the beginning,
this is-
He's smaller.
Yeah, so he's this all happens as a reaction to the nuclear stuff. So another thing that I like to point out is that when he does use his breath, it hurts him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which is like, it affects him. He gets more and more burnt up. His face.
Oh, yeah.
It's like not pleasant for him to do it. And so that's kind of like, and I think that they noticed that, and that plays into how it ends.
Well, the regeneration bit was
they
interesting.
noticed also when the bomb is in his mouth that it actually hurt him when they were doing the mines, and it fucked up his mouth, and then it regenerated.
grew
But yeah,
back.
That was a great scene.
the
look on their face.
They dropped that crumb in there for later on. Like, that's great writing, right? Like they drop in little things earlier on that then pay off at the end with, you know, whether it be the guy not taking the shot or the bomb in the mouth or things like that that they've noticed.
Yeah, and he gets a chance to kamikaze, sort of, but doesn't, right? To kind of redeem himself.
Oh, that part! Oh my god! So Tachibana was my favorite character in the movie.
Yeah,
he just he was like he reminded me of like Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. He just like at first you just don't know what to think, and when he comes back and the way he gets him to come back was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
blaming him and all that stuff in those letters.
Yeah.
But the scene that got me, like if I teared up at any moment, it's when and I would like to preface that the movie was very predictable. Like I called everything that was going to happen, but it did not diminish the viewing pleasure at all.
Yeah.
But there's that scene where he's going over the plane with them, and he's like, "There's one more thing I got to show you," and it pulls away, and I went, "Oh, it's probably an injector." You know, like I knew he was going to say that.
That was very predictable.
Yeah, it was very telegraphed. But
well, let me just finish that real quick. The reason why that works though is because within the story that they've crafted here, that's actually the payoff you want. You don't want him, because of the fact that they did the work to make this family, this like makeshift family. You want his story doesn't. It's actually disappointing for his story to end as a kamikaze guy doing the kamikaze thing, because he actually has more to live for with this with the daughter that he's going to leave behind. It'd actually be a selfish decision for that pilot to do the kamikaze thing.
And he has all that, ironically, because of the war and the devastation, right?
And it's not bad to expect something,
right?
If they do it right.
Yeah.
Like if you're expecting it, and you're like, I know it's coming. But then when it actually plays out, it actually does elicit your emotions, and it does hit you in a way like they've succeeded.
Because it's like this is what should happen.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I mean, the point there are points in the movie where like, by the way, the movie is very serious, but there are like a lot of like low key funny stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, the scientist is funny.
Yeah.
But when the scientist makes the speech where he's like, for X amount of years, Japan felt like life was disposable. Like I'm paraphrasing here, but they didn't care, right? He's like, this is not how we're going to be. Like we are doing this not to sacrifice, but to live.
Yeah.
And then like when he makes that speech, like this is about living, not dying.
Yep.
I could have fucking run through a wall. Like that was like the best sports like pump up speech ever. I was like, let's fucking kill Godzilla.
Yeah,
like, let's
and not lose anyone. Yes, and not lose a single. Yes,
you gotta live, not lose anyone else.
They've lost too much at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just been doing solid losing the whole first like hour of the movie. It's like you see
not only
level Japan, like, and then he comes in and levels it again. You know,
not only the first hour of the movie, but just like the whole mindset that Japan, and like it's a comment on like the culture at the time, but like the whole mindset Japan had about its soldiers at the time.
Yeah.
Like World War II, like it was honorable to die. Like you should sacrifice yourself. He comes back to the town and the lady looks at him like, you fucking caused this because you didn't sacrifice yourself.
The fucking neighbor lady. I was like, oh my God, I can't.
And it's just like such a great like weaving in of like real world things and like the despise that like the Japanese government had for their own human life.
Yeah.
And like weaving, like this is like big budget filmmaking, but like instead of it just being a popcorn movie,
It's
they
thoughtful.
they meld that into like real world shit that like, and like real awesome like commentary on life and humanity and like just fucking good filmmaking. It's like, how is this? It's like,
it's an anomaly.
It's fucking Godzilla.
It's good storytelling.
They made it more.
It's good storytelling.
It's historic. I mean, it's historic. I mean, the 1954 one was of its time. It's 1954.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much telling the story of its time. But the fact that this director could go back and capture that time and bring all these themes up and have this airplane that was a prototype that they used and all of a sudden that opens up that can of worms and almost like a giving this airplane a flight that it never got, you know?
Right. That's so fascinating. I love, like you said, Rex, it was in 1954, 9 years after like the bomb dropped. So they're reacting then, but to then go back with the foresight years later and set it before that is kind of brilliant because it's a different context. And also I love the fact that like, don't a lot of the movies, it's usually like the government or military fighting Godzilla. And in this one, nobody's helping them out. The U.S.
There's none.
It's
and they did a brilliant, the way they utilized General MacArthur, because the whole time before I even saw the movie, I'm like, how are they going to are they going to cast like a gaijin actor that's like terrible? And that whole sequence,
except it wasn't a gaijin actor.
No, the whole sequence they did of like the news broadcast from like American warships, like the military broadcast, like that montage was fucking genius, and it made sense. Like the American military can't build up their forces there because it's going to spark like World War III.
Right.
You know,
was that actual footage of MacArthur? Is that what?
Yeah, that was
right.
Yeah, that was
the
actual
only
footage.
nitpick I did have about that was I totally get the U.S. not getting involved. I highly doubt the Japanese government wouldn't get involved.
There was no Japanese government.
They had to give up their army, right? They had to shut down.
They had no government
military
at the time. That's what made the movie a -1, because it's like there's no
they
government.
Had a government. It was just the U.S. was kind of puppeting it.
Right.
Yeah, it was like government in name only, but they had like no real power. And MacArthur's like, yeah, get some tanks together and good luck. I gotta go.
So I
left it to them.
I did kind of finally get the title, and is this correct? If I'm thinking like after the war, they were at 0,
right?
And then Godzilla shows up and takes them down another integer.
And pretty much a minus.
They got to rebuild again.
Yeah, because people were like, "What does this mean?"
Yeah,
I remember we were kind of harping on it, but But no, it makes sense.
I mean, they're not the greatest with these singular points and these
minus one. But man, the destruction, it's very Spielberg. Like you said, he was inspired by Jaws.
Oh yeah,
the shots of just train cars and boats flying through the air, and then the buildings collapsing. Holy shit! It's a thing of beauty. Zack Snyder, take note. This is how you fucking do it.
I was going to say they actually show the consequences of Godzilla's attack on humans, which they rarely do.
Yeah.
Like you felt every single death, like
How
when
many
the guys
people
are falling
died?
off the building.
Yeah, how many people died in this fucking movie? Like millions.
30,000. 30,000.
When they're doing the live, I love the homage when he's doing the live broadcast on the roof.
Oh, yeah.
And,
That's
that's
great.
directly from the first one.
Oh,
When
really?
they do a live broadcast on the tower
Those
and
fuckers
Godzilla
died.
knocks it down.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. What I totally agree. Like them doing like it from the human perspective really adds to it. But really, in my opinion, what makes you care is that, as I mentioned from my opening, this is the first movie, literally the first one. I mean, the first Godzilla movie, I also gave a shit about the human characters, but this is the first Godzilla movie in a long time where I loved like all the human characters.
Yeah.
Like I loved the makeshift family.
Yeah.
Like that was like interesting and kind of heartbreaking. And then you have this whole scenario where they're like a family, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not even married.
Yeah.
And then like the adventures where they're on the boat with those guys. Like I loved that entire crew.
Oh, the
Like,
Minesweeper is great.
yeah, those, and then they become his family.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
like you have this whole theme of like
It's
what is
rebuilding.
family?
It's like
Rebuilding your family. And like
they're
what does
rebuilding
family
everything.
really mean? Right? Like family isn't necessarily the people that are related to you. It's the people that are around you when nothing's around. Like when
Right.
everything's gone. Like that's the family, and like they build that. So then like when and all these people are looped in with Godzilla, so it's like I don't want any of these people to die.
No.
And then like the lady, the girl, is it Noriko?
Yeah.
Like when she passes,
Yeah.
or when we think she passes,
Yeah.
like I was legit like fuck.
It's like, no.
Like, I was like, why did you push him in
I
there?
was
Why
like,
did you go in the alley?
That's what I said. Why didn't you just jump in there with him instead of pushing him out of the way? What are you doing? But that's
so I
devastating.
mean, they did so much good work in terms of like developing the characters that I actually gave a shit. Like this wasn't a movie where I was like, man, I just want to see Godzilla fuck shit up. I was literally like, no, like please don't fuck anything up.
Yeah.
This is fucked up. Like Japan's in a bad place. I don't want to see these characters die.
Yeah.
So where do you think it goes after this? That's the other question.
They blow his head up at the end, which is amazing, but then you see a big chunk of him start to bubble.
I
and
love
regenerate.
that plot line though of like them sinking him and then
Oh, yeah.
raising him up.
Yeah,
and, like,
a plan that
doing all
makes
shit.
sense.
It paid homage to the Oxygen Destroyer too, with the bubbles and everything.
Yeah.
A plan that kind of makes sense. Yeah, decompress him.
Well, no, I mean that definitely that's a
Yeah.
real thing. If you fucking sink and then get pulled back
Yeah,
up
you get
that
the
quickly,
bends.
you will get fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what happens is there's no way a plane should be able, even with a fucking bomb in it, should ever be able to kill Godzilla.
But it weakened Godzilla.
Yeah.
But he's weakened and he's about to, he's charging up for a breath. It's coming out. So basically we know that the breath hurts him. So now if you blow his head out, and they did this in GMK where they had the hole and it that kills him, like the breath comes out of another part of his body. So if he's not focusing it, the energy will just fucking blow him apart. And that's exactly what happened. It wasn't the bomb that killed him, it was his breath.
Oh, it kind of backfired.
He killed himself.
Oh,
yes.
I see. Like if you plug a gun or something. Yeah.
But they definitely, I mean, they left it open because I got confirmation that the thing growing on her neck at the end was a G cell.
Oh.
So that's what that is. I hope it's not like a Shin Godzilla thing.
No, they're not doing it.
Radiation.
They explicitly show at the end that the cells are growing on the bottom of the sea.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they show Godzilla's heart like at the end of GMK, it's like regenerating, and it's like, well, he can come back. Like they're leaving it open for him to come back. And with the G cells, now they're leaving it open for like other mutated kaiju to come if they decide to go that route.
So wait, that was on Noriko in the hospital? Is that what that was?
On her neck.
Yeah,
she's got
it's shaped like
radiation.
Godzilla's. It's shaped like his dorsal fin. I didn't catch that the first time. The second time, I was like, "Oh, it does look like his fin."
The ending is literally the same ending that they've done in like Shin, in GMK, in was it Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah when he wakes up and starts blowing fire underneath the water. Like they've done this ending numerous times where they tease that he's not dead, he can't die.
Well,
So I mean, I think it's not necessarily original, but I think they can certainly like I put this in our chat after the movie, but like they could certainly like have him take decades to regenerate and then bring him back in like another era. Like they could do 70s, 80s now.
Oh yeah.
And then like they definitely established that he considers Japan his territory. So like you could certainly have him defend Japan like you could take it that route where you could pivot to having him fight other monsters too.
I would have him fight a Mecha Godzilla or a Mecha first, right? Because they're like, okay, they speculate that he could possibly come back. He could regenerate. They don't know that he's back, so then they build something just in case he comes back. It could be like a Super X. It could be something like that. But I would be like, that would be like what he would fight. And then,
so what era do you place that in? Like you would,
in the 70s.
Oh, okay. So they got tech in the 70s.
So the technology is really not that crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
And then maybe there's a mystery monster in there. Maybe there's like a Rodan or some shit, something that flies.
You know, I heard a rumor when this opened in Japan, and I don't know where it came from, but comicbookmovie.com said, spoilers, Anguillus is in the movie.
Oh. Really?
And at first I was like, that's weird because the toy would have been out like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, like the Minus One toys.
Yeah.
There's no way they'd sleep on that toy. And it turned out not to be true. And I think someone just got confused with the Proto Godzilla or the pre-mutated
the
Godzilla.
little one in the beginning.
Godzillasaurus.
Yeah, but then I started thinking about that, like, you know, because Anguillus was his first ever adversary in the Godzilla series, you know, and that fight was pretty legit, even though I don't like the movie. And I would love to see an updated version of that movie of Godzilla versus Anguirus, like in Osaka or something. You know, I think he's like not that far fetched of a kaiju to bring in, you know, for the next film, rather than going like Biollante or Ghidorah or something. You know, like keep him a little bit more grounded. You know, do like the more dinosaurian kaiju first. Kind of what they already did in the Showa era. And that director's a huge fan of the Showa period in general. So I could totally see him doing that.
The legendary movies have to give us a fucking updated like tail slide flying kick thing. I'd love to see them.
Well, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen in Legendary. I guarantee you, in the Legendary movie, Godzilla's doing a drop kick.
They got to do it.
He already did. Like, I don't know if you guys remember the not to get off topic here, but during Godzilla's 70th birthday or whatever, they had that one where he fights Megalon and he does that. Like he does a drop kick in that. So maybe that's a harbinger of what's to come.
Anthony, regarding the music, I feel they used the original. The music was great at the end when it's just like bum 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 bum. I was humming that. It got stuck in my head. But did they update it at all, or is it straight from the first movie? I feel like it's a little remix.
No, it's not straight from the first movie.
No, they updated it.
They updated it. They use themes from like some like different eras, and then they mix in some of their own music. And
was there a Shin in there?
I didn't notice Shin, no. But they do use like the old school roars too. Like I thought the music was so well used. I was like grinning the entire time, and it was one of those things where like the movie was so good, and then they brought back a lot of the old music with some new music that I literally like on the way home was playing the Godzilla Minus One soundtrack.
Oh yeah, same here.
Nice.
I've been listening. Yeah.
I mean, like it just was like. And the funny thing is, like, as a kid growing up with that music, a lot of those themes were very, like, had a very positive tone for me.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought of those as mostly positive music.
Yeah.
Like Godzilla's arrival and, like, he's fighting these monsters and it's, like, a good thing. And they used it in Shin, too. But, like, this is the first one where, like, they used it. And I'm like, oh, that's not out of place for it to be an evil thing for them to use it. Like,
ominous.
And, like, yeah, it was fucking great. I mean, it was just... The film, like, they hit everything almost right. Like, I mean, I have my minor nitpicks with some things, but like, it was just so well thought out.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I couldn't believe it.
It's almost the perfect movie if you think of the balance of.
It's
Godzilla
pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
I mean, I don't know, like, if it'll get this far, but I was literally like Googling just now. I'm like, does this have any Oscar buzz? Like, could this be like something that like gets nominated
that dude's
for something?
acting, the main guy, like he was amazing. Like I bought all his English. It was very good.
There's no reason why this can't be nominated, and I'm not just saying that as like
His
a fan.
English.
Anguish.
Not English. Not English. Yeah,
Sandwich? I want a sandwich.
There's no reason. I think it would be good for them to, highlight a foreign film. They always do it.
From what I read, I saw a video online where someone saw it with like a Japanese speaking person, and they had said, this is just one person's account, that there was a little bit of overacting in some of the parts.
Okay, sure.
But I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know.
I see, in the melodrama. I mean, definitely want to see it again. And like you said, Bellotti, I feel like it gets better with more viewings.
It does. It really, did.
There's a lot to
the only other, I have one minor nitpick as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell all those tugboats just show up out of nowhere and are able to anchor to that fucking boat right away within like seconds.
Yeah.
And pull Godzilla up.
Oh, no, I have a list of things.
Okay.
Like there's a lot. I mean, I don't want to
the tugboats anchoring to one boat would like pull that boat apart if they were trying to pull up Godzilla.
No, there's a lot of expedited things, like he jumps in that experimental plane and flies it like he's always been.
Like he knows that he's a pilot.
And Shikishima shows up in Ginza as Godzilla is attacking and just knows where his like partner is.
So the first time when I saw it, that scene, I was furious because I'm like, wait a minute. So he attacks Ginza. She's on the fucking train that he bites in.
Yeah.
And then she's the only one that survives.
Yeah.
Then she falls into water.
Yeah.
Then they're on the street and he happens to find her.
He finds her in the street of chaos. Yes.
Right.
And then she pushes him into like the only alleyway.
And that doesn't collapse.
That doesn't collapse. Like that.
Okay. It's a little
whole
convenient.
part, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
A little convenient.
I was like, this is total Spielberg War of the Worlds style.
I like the Spielberg
convenience.
But you know what saves it?
Everything else.
Everything
the
else.
rest of the movie.
Everything else. But also, it's just so epic when he shoots that fire breath.
Yeah.
And it shoots a mushroom cloud out that like is so like the Godzilla movies. Every Godzilla movie before this, except Shin actually. Shin actually gave it some power, and maybe Godzilla versus Destroyer. But like they spam that atomic breath so much that it's like it's worth nothing.
Right.
Like and it's like what is the cost to Godzilla for doing this?
Yeah.
But like this movie was like, no, that's an atom bomb that's coming out of his mouth, and as Ruggs mentioned, it also weakens the fuck out of him. Like this isn't something he can spam.
He only did
But
it
when
once.
he does it,
right?
it fucking destroys. No, he does it. He blows up the boat before it.
Oh,
that's the first time you see it.
Oh, that's right. He hits the
He blows
boat
up the
first.
Takao, and it's like, oh my god, what just happened there?
And then he hits the city, so he does do it. Yeah, he does it twice. Yeah, that
like
was crazy.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, they actually like even put in the work to make this atomic breath thing mean something.
At least he doesn't go to sleep after he does
or
it.
just freeze into a stone.
Can we have just a quick? I know I shouldn't shit on another movie to do this, but can we have just a quick, because of the modern Raiwa era? Like, how do we compare this to Shin?
I don't feel it. Well,
I like
I
this
said,
better.
Shin is an intelligent movie, and it's definitely what do you call it? Like an allegory, and basically, as my brother he put it really well. He's like, it's basically an allegory of government failure that happens to have Godzilla in it. And he pointed out the scene where Godzilla is literally mutating and destroying the city, and they still can't get their heads out of their asses.
Yes.
They're having meetings.
Yeah, about meetings.
And
about having meetings.
For like that, I really appreciated all that stuff. Especially working in any sort of office environment. You could really appreciate that. But it's the only thing I would compare with them really are the effects work. And I think the effects work in this movie are stellar compared to Shin. Because Shin, I think, also had an expedited production schedule, and they farmed out the effects work to different effects houses. And Anno, I don't think, is like, he's not an effects artist, where Yamazaki is a legitimate visual effects artist, and it's all like under his supervision. So this had more
he made
cohesion.
he worked on this himself. Like he literally did some of the visual effects himself.
Yeah, it's him. So it has like a more what do you call it? No, not substantial. Why can't I think of the word? Like it's not solid. Like it stays the same. What's that word? Consistent.
Yeah,
Jesus, oh my God, the brain melted.
okay.
It like stays the same. It doesn't change. What's
doesn't
that word?
change. What's that word? It stays consistent. I can't think of the word. Consistent?
Yes.
Yeah, that word. Consistent. Yeah. So it looks like we're shooting to look kind of like there's some scenes like he does that weird jerky motion. Do you remember that scene after he fires his breath?
Yeah.
He does like that weird jerky motion.
With Shin, when he's walking around, it's like he's like a statue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, story-wise, I mean, you can sort of compare them. I mean, it's, you know,
That
basically...
one, it's just too...
Now, let me jump in here real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Shin, its power is in its satire. All right?
Yes.
It's a good satire. It's a good commentary on Japan. I think it's, it has some visionary ideas where you really make Godzilla this powerful thing to be reckoned with, but it's anticlimactic also.
Right.
It's like, you know, he drinks milkshakes and he freezes. He gets brain freeze, and that's it. That's how you end the movie.
Right.
And it's kind of like, and you know, after he uses his breath, he has fucking shit shooting out of everything, and his jaw is splitting. So, like, without those conventions, like, the movie, he wouldn't be able to do anything because they didn't really animate him into doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
But Minus One just works as a theatrical experience. It works as a story. It works as a period piece. It works on so many other levels. And then, yes, you have Godzilla actually moving, actually hunting people down, and he's smaller in stature, so you have he can kind of interact with people more, and all of those decisions were great. You know, they made him more accessible. The amount of destruction that he personally does, it puts him in a different light. Yeah. So I think Shin, I think it's a well done satire. It's an Anno film. It's really up his alley, and it's got some nice science-y stuff in there. But ultimately, it veers away from Godzilla, his origins. It veers away from Godzilla as a character. Does its own thing, kind of. Other than shooting, you know, fire breath. They're really unlike each other and being invulnerable. And yeah, Shin is okay. It's unique, but I think that this is way better of a film.
Yeah.
Just on every level. Like when I left Shin, I was like confused and perplexed. I was like,
it's exhausting.
I had to watch it.
And then you argued with people on Twitter about it for months.
Oh yeah, I went on Twitter arguments.
It's exhausting.
I was completely like lost, and it took me a long time to even come around to that film being like, okay.
It's that,
but
that movie's too allegorical for its own good, and clearly that movie is made for like Japanese citizens. This movie, Minus One, is made for everybody.
Yeah.
Even though it's like hyper focused on Japan, like somebody left some comment on the movie. They were like, somebody referenced the Fred, like it was that speech that he gives, the running through the wall speech, as Anthony put it.
Yeah,
it's about life.
And he talks about like the how they treated Japanese soldiers and stuff like that. And somebody commented like, "Oh, but like they don't bring up how they treated Americans at the time." It's like, motherfucker, like it's not about that. Like Japan was looking inwards at that moment. You know, there were a lot of inflection, there were a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of just like, wow, we really treated ourselves horribly, and we can never let this happen again. And that's the whole point of it, is like, we came from this, like we just almost destroyed our entire civilization, like our way of life. And we want to get better. Like that scene where they're all like at the docks and they're loading the boats, and he's like, look at all their faces. He's like, they're doing it again, but there's like a better sense of purpose for them.
Yeah.
They're doing it for a greater good instead of like destruction and death.
Yeah.
You know, now you're protecting what you have left after all that stuff to come out of that. You know, it's definitely, but it's universal. And I was reading, there was a thread with artist Yuji Kaida, who's like the greatest living Godzilla artist right now. And he had this whole thread going on about like, he was surprised that American audiences are really reacting to this movie. And somebody was like, but do they understand like the Japanese perspective on war and war in general? And then I commented on like, there's one thing Americans understand very well. It's war. We've been in like endless wars since I was a kid. And, you know, we're basically a military industrial complex, but we very much understand like what they're going through and what they feel and that feeling. I mean, I was around for 9/11, you know, like I remember that despair and that trauma like that I still carry with me. So seeing that destruction, you know, like that related to me. Like I was able to relate to what was going on in Minus One. Even GMK, like GMK came out like right around the time of 9/11. And I remember watching GMK and I had a hard time of watching the destruction scenes because of what I just saw happen in real life.
Yeah.
You know?
I appreciated like it works as a historical period piece that shows you a perspective you don't normally see. Like what happened over there at the end of the war, the other side, and the repercussions.
Also, everyone relates to the fact. Anyone really can relate to the fact that, like, fuck, man, if I was that soldier,
you don't want to.
I don't know if I'd want to fucking kill myself.
Yeah, why?
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Why? Especially like the end. Like, we know we're going to lose the war. Why am I doing this?
Yeah, and
like
the government. Is
that's
telling
immediately.
you,
That's immediately relatable.
Yeah.
Even if you're not Japanese, like so, like that right off the bat, I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah. That's
It- it was-
fascinating
it was-
story.
that alone, as Imran mentioned, is already fascinating, right? And then it becomes and like his redemption story and like him living with the nightmares, like even the scenes where he like wakes up and he's like asking the girl, like, "Am I dead?
Yeah,
like, can
he's
this be
freaking out.
like, is this
Oh, God,
death?
that was hard to
am I already
watch.
dead right
He's
now? And am I
dreaming
living this?
Yeah.
Like, is this a fucking cruel joke that's being played on? Like, all that stuff is just so powerful.
Yeah.
Like it's just the stuff where she's like you haven't. He's still fighting his war.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to live his life, but he hasn't been able to get over the war, and he's still fighting it. And the only way he's going to be able to do this is to fucking kill Godzilla. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, and I never wanted to I never want the fucking humans to kill Godzilla, but this one I'm like, go fucking kill Godzilla. Get him.
Yeah, you want that redemption.
We need this.
Yeah, I mean, he loses his parents, everything he owns. They're, when they're living in the little shack that they just put together, and then you slowly see them rebuild everything.
And then he just like takes in this girl.
Yeah.
It's just like
and a kid.
now
and
she's
you
living
see
there.
not even her kid. It's
Just
random
listen to
people.
this. We're all talking about something that's not
It's
Godzilla.
not
We're
Godzilla.
in
It's
the
a
movie.
basic character.
We're talking about.
I even like the funny part. I wanted to mention was that the captain on the boat where they're out with the minesweeper, and he's like, "Hey, we might as well do this. Who else is gonna do it, right?" And then Godzilla shows up. He goes, "Okay, never mind." And then he wants to turn around. That's like there's some humor.
when he shows up and he's like, he takes the job. And he's like telling not his wife. It's the person living with him. It's not his wife.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they have like these high tech boats, and he gets there with this
Yeah,
fucking
it's
wooden
a
boat.
wooden
And he's like,
boat.
what the fuck?
Wooden
Yeah.
boat. Yeah.
But what the genius of the movie is, they really made you care about the characters.
Yeah.
So by the time Godzilla comes, you want those characters protected at all costs.
Oh yeah.
Again,
I mean, that's good writing. That's just good writing.
why did it take 70 years to do this in a Godzilla movie?
I don't think it took 70
No, I mean, there's been
years.
good
there's-
human characters.
Yeah, there's definitely been good human characters. It just all around has been.
I think that everything's clicking.
Yeah.
Everything is working together in unison. I think that there's been attempts at great human characters. I think there's been attempts to kind of stay into a serious tone and say something about society many times, but I think this one just does it all around.
He nailed it.
Like in lots of different
And
ways.
I think it was timing.
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I just think it was, Toho would always hire these like utilitarian directors. Like some of them, like the guy that made, I think, Biollante and Ghidorah and Destroyer, like he wasn't even a Godzilla fan. Not that you have to to fan of this
Destroyer's
stuff, obviously.
awesome. Don't you fucking shit.
I like Destroyer. But I can be getting those movies wrong. But I know there's like one director did one set of Heisei movies and another director did the other set of Heisei movies. And one was a fan, or like one was like not really a fan. Kind of like Jun Fukuda when he directed like Megalon and Gigan in those movies. Dude like never talked about him after as time went on. He just had no ownership of those movies. But this guy, I think it just came down to timing, because it was like the right director at the right time with the right technology.
Yeah.
And I think there was just a hunger for this kind of Godzilla. And they always try to go back to the original in some way, but they never quite go there. And from the moment this movie starts, you're like, oh, motherfucker's a kamikaze pilot?
Yeah.
Like, we're going there right away?
Yeah.
Right.
And the dude is not only that, but he didn't commit suicide, and now he's living with trauma. Yeah. I was a little uncomfortable because I'm like, I can't believe like we're going there. But for Godzilla to truly work as a successful, critically acclaimed film, you have to go there. Yeah. And that's what the original did so well. Even 84 did it with the Cold War. Like they were touching
Return
on
of
themes.
Godzilla is awesome. I was going to bring that up in a little bit, just like another comparison. But one thing I wanted to add that I think, amongst all these factors that we talked about that made it awesome, I think what also is like helping that this is like raising it another notch is this is the first Godzilla movie that's truly awesome and doesn't have man in suit. Like for most people,
right?
There's always going to be a segment of the audience that's like, but that's a fucking man in the suit, and I know it. And it's a joke because it's a man in the suit. This is the first Godzilla movie that's like truly awesome in all aspects, and you can't go, oh, but I had to get over the fact that it's a man in a suit.
Right.
Like it's not a joke anymore.
It's grounded. It's gritty. It's kind of realistic in its own way.
No, it's just the fact that it's a man in a suit.
Yeah.
Like we always, even the original Godzilla, people could be like, it's good,
but it's a guy in a suit.
But I know that's a fucking man in a suit.
Yeah. Right.
Like there's always that joke aspect to it.
Well, there is an observation I made. Tony and Rugboy, you guys have seen all the Shin movies, right? Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Godzilla.
No, I've only seen Shin Godzilla.
Really? You haven't seen?
I've seen Shin Kamen Rider, yeah.
And I could have you've seen Shin Ultraman, haven't you?
No.
I also have seen Shin Ultraman.
Right.
Yeah.
Tony, you should really see Shin Ultraman. It's actually the best of the Shin movies. But there's an observation I made with these movies, and granted, it's basically these two filmmakers making those three movies, but I even noticed it with Minus One, that the level of effects work, right? Like it's still lagging behind Hollywood, even though this movie looks absolutely gorgeous. And I think for the first time, they're almost on par with Hollywood, if not already there.
Yeah.
But what they do good in these movies is, okay, they're using CGI. I know a lot of people are annoyed by that, including myself, but I get my fix with the Ultra shows. Like, okay, I get all the miniature work there. I'm okay with that. And what they do really well is that they make the digital stuff look like the tokusatsu. The tokusatsu is basically all the practical effects.
Like a guy in a suit.
There's this shot, like the choreography in Shin Ultraman looks like an actual episode. Same thing with Kamen Rider.
Wow.
And what they do is what the Hong Kong action choreographers would do, where they would pull the camera back so you see all the action, and that's what the tokusatsu style was like as well. And then you have like American movies and it's all up close and this shaky cam,
right.
You can't see. Scott Adkins always talks about that, which I love because he always like critiques like the shaky cam.
Yeah.
And these movies, I noticed it's like, okay, we're doing CGI, but you know what? We're going to make it look like it's a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
Even to the way they walk, like the Godzilla walking in this looked like a guy in a suit.
A little bit, yeah.
And when he's in the ocean, it looked like a Heisei era shot of the guy in a suit in the ocean. And I couldn't get over like how realistic it looked. And that's the genius of what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're going CGI, but you know what? It's going to still look like the old way that we film things. Whereas the Americans, they just want that camera moving all the time.
Yeah,
like they don't want you having
around,
a break.
speed ramps all over the place.
I think they learned a lot from this film. I think that the $15 million went a long way.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
And hopefully they get more money, because if they give them another $10 million,
oh my God,
all bets are off.
Yeah.
I don't think they can make. They're going to need more money if they want them to fight other monsters. Yeah. I think 15 million is like stretched enough to cover something like this, but I don't think you can do 15 million and have him interact with another monster. I think that's going to cost too much.
What do you think this thing ends up making box office wise? Like 50, 80 total? I mean, that's a huge return.
I think 50 is within reach. I think
50,
that
more, definitely 50 at least.
I think a stretch goal would probably be like 80 million.
Are you saying worldwide, or are you saying in the U.S.?
No, worldwide. Total ending.
What's it at now? 34?
35. Yeah, 34 and a half.
What did Shin make? Let's look.
78.
Oh, really?
78,
it should make more than that.
And this has a much wider release. It still has to release in Europe, I think.
So Shin, just for reference,
how much was that made for?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Shin did 78. It only did 1.9 in the U.S. It's already done 11.4 in the U.S.
It was made for 1 billion yen. I don't know what that is. It says yen. I wonder how much that is.
Yen?
Yeah.
I mean, the good buzz, people are starting to. I mean, I've never seen this.
I agree.
I've never seen going on YouTube and looking at like Stuckman.
All of
Jeremy
them.
Johns.
Yeah, everybody.
Every single one of those guys.
You know who didn't like it and got a lot of shit? Did you see this shit happening?
Oh,
yeah,
was someone does movies.
Adam does. Our butt, Adam Olinger.
I saw he hated
He's
it.
been on
I
the
couldn't watch the
podcast.
whole review.
No, and then there's like a 2-hour stream where he's talking about all the comments he got from his negative review of.
Yeah, way to go, fandom.
They apparently just decided.
So Adam didn't like it.
He didn't like it. He said it was horrible.
He called in the thumbnail. It says Godzilla Minus Fun is the thumbnail of his review. You know, it's humor.
But going back to Ruggs is absolutely. I've never seen the mainstream guys not only talking about Godzilla, but like feeling the need to talk about it and then being so positive about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, right? Did we record that part when I was talking about the trailer?
Is this the part where you were talking about the Latin posse in our Jock and Nerd group?
Latin Heat. I said this earlier, right? Like there was like peace in the fandom for once.
Yeah.
It was like the end of Watchmen, where it's like everybody was united, and then Legendary.
It's not even the. I mean, I agree with you. It's like, but the people that you wouldn't expect all of a sudden coming out of the woodwork is like where I was going. Oh my gosh! Like, granted, it made 11 million domestically, right? So. Not everyone's seen the movie. Like most people haven't seen the movie, but the people that have are just like so jazzed about it, and a lot of people that aren't Godzilla fans.
Look, the thing about this is that it's a lot of people who weren't Godzilla fans saw it, and because it's a accomplished film, regardless of if Godzilla's in it or not, it's still a well-made film that you can like sink your teeth into and it can wrap itself around you. But as a Godzilla fan, we've had Shin, who is very loosely tied to Godzilla. We have had Singular Point. We've had Godzilla Earth. We've had all of these Godzillas that come out in the past few years that like are Godzilla in name. We've had the 98 one, like Godzilla in name only. We're tired of that shit. And so to get something that's so true to form, I think it centered a lot of fans. A lot of fans were like, we can all get behind this movie. No matter if, so I think that's it's a great feeling to have, critical acclaim, fandom approval, just knowing that, it's a foreign film and it's punching above its weight class and really trying to do something that's going to affect, movies from here on out. I don't know. Like, I don't know if Toho is going to get the message. Like, you know, there's so much stuff being licensed from them right now. Their highest profile ever. Are they going to capitalize on it? I mean, is there too much? Is it oversaturated now, or what?
There's a lot of Godzilla now.
Well, we haven't seen to that point, Ruggs, and this might be a controversial opinion. We haven't seen universal acclaim for a Toho-made Godzilla film since Godzilla vs. Destroyer.
What year was that?
95?
Oh shit!
Like Godzilla 2000. Godzilla vs. Megaguirus was not liked.
No, yeah.
GMK is liked, but that's also kind of like some people like that interpretation, some don't.
It's polarizing.
Yeah, it's a polarizing film.
It's polarizing. Yeah.
Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, Godzilla Tokyo SOS, Final Wars, Shin Godzilla, all the anime stuff. Like we haven't had everyone pointing in the same direction in terms of happiness since for almost 20 years with a Toho made film.
That's what I mean, and to see it's been hilarious to watch it all crumble in a matter of seconds with the legendary
Godzilla
fucking trailer drop.
Look, I think them extending the run is smart. I think this thing will have a little bit of legs. I think the word of mouth.
Just on the legendary thing, real quick.
Yeah.
It was smart for them to release during this time because the buzz is just as high amongst the fandom now.
But don't you think that like the fact that one is so much better than the other, like it makes it more obvious?
Oh yeah, it's embarrassing. Like it looks like stupid American.
It looks
idiot
like kiddie
movie.
shit
That's what
compared to this.
Yeah, it looks like to see like we're talking about.
But why can't it be both things?
Like
if 2014 were to come out, it would be like, whoa, okay,
right?
They're in the same wheelhouse almost.
Yeah. But no, that didn't happen.
I'm of the mindset Imran just said it. There can be both.
Yeah, why can't we have both? It's great. You got this and you got this. Everybody's happy.
We got this, and we got an Apple TV show to talk about. You know, like we got all the things on at the same time.
We will get to that too. Okay, let's rate and rank this movie. I'm just going to go first, get it out of the way. I got to give this movie like a 9.5. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I recommend it for anybody, even if you're not into Godzilla, which is like I am the most outside Godzilla out of all of us. This is just a solid all-around movie with great themes. It's bleak. It's hard-hitting. It's fucking... It'll have you in their feels. I want to see it again. Yeah, 9.5. Now, you guys, Anthony, we'll start with you. Rate it and rank it wherever you want to put it.
Oh, rank it? I mean, I don't know. Let's rate it first. So first off, I mean, this movie, we've poured praise all over it, but I mean, it's a Godzilla movie, but it's a redemption story. It's a forgive yourself story. It's a family story. It's about life. Like, this is one of the best. I mean, I was just so shocked after watching that movie to just feel the way I was feeling about a Godzilla film. It's one of the best Godzilla films, if not the best ever. It's up there with all the greats, and we can talk about all the greats. But it's up there with all of them, and it's definitely amongst the best in terms of like a non-versus film for Godzilla. Like, there's a few of those, and this one's right up there with, like the first one, and above 85 and above Shin. This one is, I originally had it as a 9.5, but after talking about it and going over the nitpicks, it's fine. The nitpicks are fine. It's 10. It's a 10 out of 10.
There we go.
It's literally one of the best things I've seen.
That.
And as far as like where it ranks, I mean, it's like up there. I mean, there's the rank, like objectively, it's probably number one.
Yeah,
like it's probably one or 1A, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that like holds it back for me from like saying definitively right now is like part of Godzilla fandom for me is also very nostalgic. And the kid in me always loved him fighting other things. That's missing from this. And maybe hopefully they'll continue this and have him fight other things. Yeah, I mean, objectively, it's a 1 or 1A in terms of Godzilla films.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people call it the best.
It's probably 1A because you always the original was such a mind blower for back then, and it still works. And like without that, none of this happens.
Sure.
But for this time, as Ruggs mentioned earlier, it's the best Godzilla film they've made in at least 20 years, if not more.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of reviewers calling it
even amongst the Americans, amongst everything,
the best film of the year. Just best film all around. I've seen that thrown around a lot. I don't think I could argue with that. Bellotti, give us a number and a ranking.
I give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And as far as ranking, I kind of like the 1A thing. And I think if you didn't have Gojira, I would say this is number 1.
Okay. But you can't have this movie without that movie.
Right.
I know, like you need that one. So I'm fine with the 1A. I put it in like top 5. I don't know if it's as rewatchable as like Space Godzilla or Mecha Godzilla, you know what I mean? Or Monster Zero, where you can just put it on and like, because I always have like the Godzilla channel on like at some point, at least every day, just in the background. And I don't know if Minus One, because it in a weird way, I compared this to The Dark Knight, where I know, even the music, it didn't feel like composed music. It's sort of like that ambient noise that The Dark Knight had.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
And I felt like the Godzilla scenes were the Heath Ledger scenes where my eyes were just fucking glued to the screen every single time he was on screen.
You can see that.
So there was a lot of like Dark Knight comparisons. But again, Dark Knight, like you put it on and you just get sucked into the movie, or like any Scorsese film or Tarantino.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel about this. It's like, I'm not going to put this on and just like for shits and giggles. It's something I'm going to like actively watch, and appreciate.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my
10 out of 10 was your number.
10 out of 10.
Rug Boy.
As a work of cinema, I think it's very well done. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't really know, can't give credence to the performances, whether they were overacting or not. I'm just reading subtitles and going, that feels right. So with that said, as a piece of cinema, I think it's very, very good. I think it's exceedingly good. I would hesitate to give it a 10, but I'm going to give it a 9.5 because, I feel like there's always room for more. But as a Godzilla film, I feel like it's a 10.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like as a sci-fi film, I feel like it's a 10. I don't know about like, Oscar worthy stuff like that. I mean, that's a little bit maybe beyond its reach slightly, but I could also see it. I mean, other movies have done similar things. So
you know what? They nominated Black Panther for an Oscar, and that movie was not.
Yeah.
That wasn't a dumpster fire, but I don't think it really.
This one can get
deserved
there
it.
with these themes.
There's no Dark Knight was nominated. Like at this point, like if they don't nominate this, but fucking Black Panther, like come on, you know?
Yeah, I think there's definitely an accomplishment here that is worth rewarding. So yeah, in my world of Godzilla films, I feel like the original is always going to be the thing I hold to the highest regard because everything comes from the original. Everything comes from that. So I always want to give that the top spot, whether I like watching the movie or not, because I probably would prefer to watch this movie over the first one because of just it's an easier watch.
Right.
Like, Gojira is very like heavy and depressing, and you know it's black and white, and but it does have those things like the oxygen destroyer and all that, and Dr. Sarazawa and all those great things that I love about that film. There are more fun Godzilla movies, but I think this is the best one, the best made. I think there's other ones that are in the mix. I think 2014 is somewhere in the periphery, not in the mix, but like out there too. They're all kind of serious, well done, kind of unique versions of Godzilla. Shin is in there in the mix somewhere. So it's among living among legends. It's definitely there. So I'm very happy with this movie. I think everyone should go see it.
You know what's funny though about the 14 is if they just would have stuck with Bryan Cranston, that would have been up there.
And not
Yeah.
killed
been
him.
up there
It
with
would have been
this.
like top 5 for me.
Like they had it. They look like the feeling I had watching this entire film was exactly the same feeling I had with Bryan Cranston up until they killed him weirdly.
Oh.
And then it turned sideways in terms of like caring about the
Then
characters.
we followed someone.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But that had it. It almost had it then too. One quick question for the Godzilla fans, not Imran, although you could answer if you want. I think it'd be good for us to just quickly, because we're probably getting a lot of listeners that never watched Godzilla or watched it sparingly. And I know this came up in the chat, but it'd be good to just in whatever, not in order, but what are your top 5 Godzilla films?
Top 5, like I'm showing a newbie or my personal top
Your
5?
personal top 5.
Yeah.
Favorite? Oh, that kind of changes, but
it always changes. But what is it right now?
The most consistent, it's I put Gojira there, but I don't put Gojira on that list because it's just a masterpiece. I don't put it on the list. So it's usually Mothra vs. Godzilla, Monster Zero, Ghidorah, Destroy All Monsters, the Showa era. Then I'll do like 84, Biollante, GMK, Destroyer,
this is not 5.
Godzilla. I know, but it's like that's what I'm saying. It keeps changing.
How about
so
what is your favorite number 1 Godzilla movie? Can you narrow it
you
down?
can't.
You can't narrow it down?
no, I'll do all right.
Do 5. Pick 5.
I'll do 5. Or like Mothra vs. Godzilla, Monster Zero, 84, Biollante, and GMK.
Okay.
I do
What
those
about you,
5.
Ruggs?
Just Japanese?
No.
Oh.
All Godzilla.
All 37.
I mean, I think I like 2014. I like Godzilla versus Kong, but I mean, they're fun movies. I like watching them. They're not great movies though. I mean, especially Godzilla versus Kong is kind of a joke, but I would say Godzilla 84 or Return of Godzilla is definitely a great movie. It's scary and it's got great effects and
dark. It's very dark.
It's dark. If you're looking for a fun movie, you got Godzilla versus Megalon. I like Godzilla versus the high side, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great fun movie. That's another one that's a lot of fun. There's other ones too, but let's see. Another Showa era one that I like is Godzilla versus. I like all the Mechagodzilla movies. Anything with Mechagodzilla in it is great. I love either the first Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla or the Terror of Mechagodzilla. I like them both. So I those are the ones I kind of gravitate more the most.
Okay. My quick 5. So if we're eliminating Godzilla, the original, because it just goes without saying, I'll go with, this is just the first Godzilla movie I saw ever. So it's always going to hold a nostalgic place, but, Ibra Horror of the Deep or Godzilla versus the Sea Monster.
Oh,
damn.
I enjoy that one. It's my first one ever and I still enjoy it. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, the first one is awesome. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 93 is fucking awesome. That one's like so awesome. Godzilla versus Destroyer is one of my favorites, and then I would throw in Godzilla Minus One. It's like made my top 5.
Yeah. I think Tokyo SOS is not bad, and the one before it with Kiryu in it is also.
I was looking at some lists. I think I want to watch
Biolante's
What's
good.
the-
Biolante's great.
GMK.
What do you want to watch?
The GMK, is that the one with a really long title?
Yeah, that's a huge title.
Yeah.
That one's a
That keeps
you'll
showing
probably
up
like that
on
one.
number 1 on a lot of lists of people.
A lot of people like that one. You'll probably like that one.
Destroyer's great. Like, there's so many. Like, you got 37 movies, and a lot of them are like tied.
We
for the same
reviewed the
spot.
Smog Monster one. That one was great.
Like, basically, it's what are you in the mood for? If you're in the mood for like fucking wrestling, like Godzilla doing drop kicks, you're watching 70s Godzilla. If you're in the mood for like slightly more sci-fi stuff, watch Biollante. Like, there's stuff that
the flexibility of his character.
GMK, Imran. For you, GMK would be a good one to pick up because it really is just a sequel to the first one.
Oh, okay.
And it's somewhat accessible.
Yeah.
It ties into a lot of like Japanese stuff.
Okay.
But I think you might like it.
that-
I didn't really like it
No?
because I don't like the fact that Godzilla
I know
has
a lot of
pot
people
belly
who
in
like
it.
Final Wars that aren't really Godzilla fans, but they like that movie.
What is? And there's like a channel now, right? Is it on all cable things?
Some Pluto.
Pluto has a channel, right? Okay, that's where you can find them all. All right, yeah, good stuff. No,
If GMK Godzilla didn't have a pot belly, it'd raise like 3 points for me.
You know what? The director of Yamazaki said that he was influenced by Gojira and GMK for this movie, and it shows. But this movie almost felt like the backstory of GMK. Like GMK does that flashback scene to like when that soldier's like a kid and he's running from like, you hear Godzilla, but you don't see him. And it's like clearly in the Showa era and the city's on fire. Like that looked like what minus one can be the origin of the GMK. That's what
I just
it reminded me.
hate that the fact that the gods. I don't like GMK. I hated the fact that Godzilla was like a living allegory for like all the dead Japanese soldiers. I was like, this is kind of stupid. I don't like it. I don't know. Was that what he was? He was like a living thing. He was like the souls of every.
He's like a giant ghost.
Yeah, it was like I just when it gets so mystical like that, it's not my
Yeah,
jam.
that's what polarized it a little bit. I think him as a walking nuclear weapon is the best way to portray him, which is why minus one.
I think both is good.
I mean, he could be a good guy, a bad guy, or just neutral. Like
Let's just bring back King Caesar and have that long 2-minute sequence where they sing to him to wake him up. Can we bring back? King Caesar?
that.
I think that was Toho like pushing the newest like recording artist or something because Jesus Christ,
Godzilla
that
the
scene.
musical.
I can listen to the twins like sing the Mothra song, then watch that sequence.
Masuda.
Yeah, that's like a nice song, but I can't do the King Caesar song. I just zone out. I'm like, what is? And the whole time, right? Like I'm gonna go on a Mecha Godzilla tangent because I fucking hate that movie.
You don't like that movie?
I don't because it's the story is so dumb. Like, why do they need a human to make an alien robot, right? And then they kidnap his daughter. Okay, so they launch Mechagodzilla to kill King Caesar. The Mechagodzilla can fly, right?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he fly all the way to King Caesar? Why does he like come out and walk slowly while she has time to sing the song? He should have been blasting this shit out of King Caesar while the motherfuckers leave it.
You're throwing logic at a 70s Godzilla movie?
You can throw logic at some of these movies and be okay, but that movie, it just like I could believe the aliens are pulling Godzilla out of the lake and flying up to Planet X, but the aliens would never rely on humanity for their technological advances. Do you know what I mean?
You know what movie we forgot to mention that has a great song in it?
What?
Kaiser. That's
Which
Smog
one's that?
Monster.
The Smog
one.
Monster. That one's trippy.
That's a good one.
All right,
a great one.
right. That's good. That's
What
fun
about
stuff. Yeah.
Gamera?
Oh, Gamera had a song.
That's a good one.
They all had songs.
No, that's completely different.
Budge.
Okay,
God,
we're gonna do some news from the nation. Godzilla talk will continue with some other comments. It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation.
Nice.
It stinks. It
Very, very
stinks.
strong.
It stinks.
It's like Godzilla's atomic slack hole breath.
Yeah.
I got a couple of comments from our listeners about Minus One. Here's Nick Shev's thoughts. Our buddy Nick Shev. What did he think? He said, it's fantastic. Everything I wanted back in 2014 is in this movie. I had some slight hesitation hearing all the Jaws comparisons because I am so fucking over movies referencing Jaws, but any of the Jaws stuff here absolutely works. It's influenced by and themes incorporated into the story. Not, quote, this machine can talk to the Titans. It's called the Orca. Remember the Orca from Jaws? It's Quint's boat, the Orca. This movie is great and an absolute geek boner.
Geek boner.
So Nick Shev enjoyed it. And then Rick
He hates the legendary stuff.
yeah,
He does.
Yeah. Similar to
We both do.
Bellotti. Yeah, I get it. Rick Martinez said, I've seen it twice, and let me say that Atomic Breath was unbelievable. Great to see Godzilla in action at sea. Second best Godzilla movie after Godzilla versus Megalon. Nothing beats that flying kick.
He does it twice.
Is that the tail drag kick?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
The drop kick. You don't know.
And then Jose.
There's also a giant Power Ranger in the movie.
Oh, right. I think I saw a clip of that. And actually, Corridor Crew, their visual of the reaction to visual effects, they did a whole Godzilla episode.
I saw that.
Yeah, I watched that. It was really fun. And then they
they actually were like, the flying kick isn't bad.
Yeah.
You can't see the wires.
Yeah, they were like, that's pretty good. And they got to interview the dude who directed the Minus One too. That was interesting.
Yeah.
That was very good. That was very cool that they did that.
They actually gave a lot of they didn't make fun of it. They were like, "Oh, this is some good compositing," and then they were talking about different Godzilla movies.
Yeah, they were like this.
They weren't allowed to make fun of it.
They're like, this looks good for the time.
You could tell that they were like, "Oh yeah, they're being really
Even
nice."
Godzilla
I think
98.
because they got the interview, probably, right?
Yeah.
But they were even praising parts of 98, which I thought was interesting.
There are some decent shots in '98.
Yeah.
It's just not a great film.
Yeah. Get Hank Azaria though; he's hilarious. And then
I like him better in the Birdcage.
Oh yes, he was great as the Birdcage.
Yeah,
it's a great movie. One of my favorites.
Jose Ibarra, and we kind of answered this question. He's the one asking. Jose Ibarra asks, I need some suggestions from the nation's Godzilla experts, Bellotti, Ruggs, Anthony, anyone else. Minus One looks incredibly dope, and I really want to get into the non-American Godzilla stuff. I really don't know much outside of the U.S. films. I know Blasphemy. Where should I start, and what are some much-watched
Oh, we went off on this poor guy.
So I think you gave him a lot of good things.
Yeah, watch Return of the Yak, 1984.
That one's a good one. I think Godzilla, Mothra versus Godzilla, like Bellotti mentioned. I think pivoting from that and going right into Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, I think is good.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's
just so many.
You could just like
we wrote it. We wrote some stuff there.
Yeah, we got like four of us through like giant lists and descriptions and everything.
Yeah, just go back.
Everything else
Probably were like at some point watch all of them, but here's how you should think about them.
Yeah,
it depends on your mood.
Which one's the worst one? Real quick.
Oh, that's a good
worst
question.
one. A lot of people will say Godzilla's Revenge. I have nostalgia for that movie because I used to come on the Godzilla-thons I used to watch. The worst one, like in my opinion, or like the general consensus?
Your opinion. And you can include the American stuff.
Well, then it's all the American stuff. 98 by far.
98 by far.
That's that's not even a conversation.
98's definitely the worst.
I'll put it on, like, because it's been coming on Pluto and the Godzilla channel, and I'm just like, what the fuck were they thinking? Like, seriously, like, I could sit through Final Wars on a loop.
If it wasn't called Godzilla, I'd have more patience for it.
Yeah, exactly. They just
I think I agree, but I really, even as a kid, I hated Godzilla's Revenge. Like I was like, this fucking sucks, and I know now why it sucks. So I understand it, and there are some like I read a review on it that was like kind of changed my perspective, where it was like this movie Honda was basically trying to make an allegory for like how
latchkey kids, basically,
right, exactly, like kids that never see their parents and like how they grow up and what that looks like now that like there's no two parents are working, and I was like, kind of get it, but fuck, man, I hate that this is all in his head.
Yeah, I did love the opening theme song as a kid. That jazzy, like fucking awesome theme song, and I didn't know until like the last 5 years or so that was for the American version. Like that was an American song. I had no idea. Yeah, and the Japanese version is terrible. It's just like the kid singing it. He's like, "Minya, it's horrible. It's horrible. I was horrible.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm gonna record.
It's like Hey, you, we got good. It sounds like Andrew Dice Clay doing one of his like,
little Miss Muffet.
Here comes the cook, the cheese. It's awful. Watch it next time.
That's a sound
Just
drop
watch
right
it.
there. Definitely cutting that.
There's something redeeming though about mostly every Godzilla film, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that movie was a tease, right? Because none of us had access to Destroy All Monsters, and the intro was showing scenes of that movie. And I'm like, what's the fucking snake monster? Like, why is Godzilla in this? Like, where's he attacking? I never seen this movie. So it was like a constant tease all the time watching that intro.
Yeah.
I want to finish up here with some what are we watching? Because not only are there American Godzilla movies coming out, not only is there a new Japanese Godzilla movie coming out, we have a prestige Godzilla TV show on Apple TV Plus. Bellotti, have you been watching Monarch?
No, I don't have Apple, and I really don't want another app. So therefore,
you haven't been watching.
No interest.
No, I haven't. I get the updates from like Trukowski and Nick Shev, and
what are their updates?
Nick Shev and Mike
they
just
hate,
hate
they must
watching
hate it. They must.
Oh yeah, the stuff that they went on this tangent, I'm just dying. I'm like, oh okay, I'll just get, because me and Nick are pretty in line with our opinions of this stuff. So I'm like, all right, man, I'll take your word for it. I've seen like footage and it's cool. Like you got the Russells, like that's cool. I guess they need a paycheck, but whatever.
So we're up. There's 4 episodes out. I'm kind of digging
They treat it a bit more seriously than what we've seen in the
movies.
latest trailer,
which is confusing because I'm hearing that this is more in line with 14, but then now you have like Kong with the power glove.
Yeah, it's a whole different tone. Boy,
yeah, it's so weird. It's like pick a tone and go with it instead of just all over this place.
Ruggs, Anthony, what'd you think of this episode 4? An episode that did not feature a flashback to the 50s, but kind of
what happens in this episode?
Well,
I
it
forget.
starts right where the last one ended with that ice monster.
Yeah, they have to so basically they split up.
Yeah, they split up. He sees,
and then they have to deal with this ice monster. And is there any flashbacks or anything?
A flashback to 2014 when Kentaro meets May, and he's got an art gallery opening, and he just meets this girl, and they hook up and they bang right away. It's very quick.
Yeah, I actually fast forward through that because I was like, I don't give a fuck about this at all. Like, I don't care about your little problems. There's nothing to do with the story at large.
Yeah.
And so this is like the first time.
I think
watching
I don't
the show,
trust that girl. I don't
her.
trust May. I think there's more behind.
Of course
her.
not.
She might.
Of course there is. Yeah, I'm actually with Ruggs. I didn't fast forward through it, but this was actually the first episode where I went, this wasn't that good. Because there was the flashbacks to this girl that I don't care about. There was a lot of contrivances, like why would you split up? How is he like able to call a helicopter so quickly to save them?
Yeah.
Like there were just so many things. I'm like, okay, this, at least for this episode, the writing is not as well thought out. I still like enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Like I look forward to watching it. But this was the first episode where I went,
its biggest crime is it's sometimes boring and like, or it's giving you unnecessarily expansion on the story you don't care about. And then there's contrivances, a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I think those are the two things, but it's still shot well, performed well, and everything else. So it's serious in tone still.
Those two really don't have any chemistry, Kentaro and May.
No,
I don't buy that at all.
It's not good.
And Kentaro does see his dad, although it's a hallucination.
It just goes on too long.
Yeah.
It actually needed it needed to go to the flashbacks because at least the flashbacks cut some of this stuff, would have like made this stuff. We wouldn't have had to sit with this the whole episode.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they didn't go to the 50s at all, but they did have flashbacks.
I mean, it ends on a nice little cliffhanger where the guy confronts Kurt Russell's character, but it felt like this episode we got away from like what the mystery is.
There's a whole
now it's like now I'm like not caring as much about the mystery because you wasted a whole episode of them wandering around in the snow.
Yeah. I was like, how the fuck are they going to get out of there? You see there's a big hole in the ground with some fucking radiation or lights coming out.
Well, that's from Hollow Earth. We saw that in the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
when Kong comes out, like we know. So I'm wondering if this show, when it wraps up, will be like the next segue into the Godzilla versus Kong Empire.
You would think. But no, but
they'll reveal something.
It takes place in 2015, and that movie is like now, but maybe there is a connection.
Yeah, I think this is before King of the Monsters. all
Yeah,
this shit.
it's in between, right?
Maybe they reveal something that Monarch knew that leads into.
Yeah,
Godzilla
that could be
XCOM.
the case. Sure.
But I mean, this is the Godzilla all over the place.
Man, it's a good time to be a Godzilla fan. Anybody watch anything else worth mentioning there, Anthony?
Oh, I watched Squid Games.
Oh, you watch? Okay, so Squid Game The Challenge put out episode 6 through 9. Episode 10, the last episode, drops later this week. It's a very weird release schedule, but holy shit, this show, to me, got even better. It totally sucked me in. There's some brutal emotional shit. The fucking glass bridge was crazy, but them playing marbles. Ruggs, what do you think? I thought they were really pushing them.
I was glad that they got rid of that bitch because, and I hate the way that they.
She
they
wouldn't
made
move.
the other. They made Mai look like she was a bad person when this bitch clearly fucked up their agreement.
Yes, she wasn't
to everyone take a chance.
She made that.
So everybody forgot about that. Everybody forgot that she'd go along with everybody
and they
else.
voted for each other, and she's like, "Oh, who's not being a team player now?"
I felt like that was edited.
Yeah.
In a way, and I felt like now this show's trying to make me fucking forget about some shit that she did.
I'm kind of surprised at the final 3. Like May, I get, but the other 2, I didn't think would make it to the end.
No, this is a very strange. Group of people made it, but look, it was entertaining. It's not like Squid Game. There's no real stakes.
It's schlocky and
one of these assholes is going to get $4 million. Though that's the fucking.
It's a
worst
guilty
part
pleasure, but
4 million American dudes.
I was fucking hooting and hollering. I was good.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, they got the big ball of money. So there is my sister is Instagram buddies with one of the guys that was in the show and got eliminated in the cookie thing, and he had he was given some behind the scenes things. During red light, green light. It's like a 30-minute clock. It took them 7 hours to shoot that. They were standing at times 15 minutes at a time. They had motion sensors in their jackets. They had to stop. They would stop the clock. They'd wait to check all the trackers. And that's why people were diving and they were hurting themselves. Also, it was really cold in that room. That's why people had their hands in their pockets. But that appears to be a 30-minute game took them over 7 hours in minus a 20-degree room or something.
Wow, it's
so
terrible.
that one girl, you see her squatting, and she's like, "Why did I squat?" I was like, "Oh, that was dumb. You're dumb." So a lot of interesting things on this guy's Instagram, behind the scenes stuff. I thought was kind of interesting, but fuck, the show is a guilty pleasure. It's just.
Was that one more episode left?
Yeah. Coming out December 6th, the day this show posts. I think it's on Wednesday.
Let's see who wins.
Yes, it will be.
Did all the Marvel stuff come out yet with the What If and shit?
No, What If season 2 starts December 22nd.
All right.
For 9 days, and then Echo will drop January 10th.
John, did you watch anything?
Yeah, we just watched this really good movie last night that's been out for a few years called I Care a Lot with Rosamund Pike.
Oh, I've seen that. That's a good one.
Holy shit.
That's a
It was a good one. It was apparently my mother-in-law was singing its praises, and we were like, let's see what Carmen's talking about.
Is she like a con person?
I saw about the caregiver. Yeah. I think I've seen this too. Yeah. This
and you don't know, I couldn't predict the ending. I was like, I think it's going to go here. I think it's going to go there. And then it's ending, and I'm like, man, this is a good ending, but Jesus, this doesn't feel right. And then the end happened. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I would.
That needed to happen.
I got to watch that again. I remember it being very good. Anthony, this is when you were into the Oscars movies.
I remember watching that.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah.
You got some nominations.
Roland Palanthony.
That was me.
Back Roland Palanthony. Now it's just Godzilla Anthony. Back to Godzilla.
Yeah.
All right, Bellotti, thanks so much for hanging out. I can't let you go without you plugging. First of all, congratulations on pulling off the very first Kaiju Brooklyn in October, right? Is when you did it?
Yeah, October 7th.
How'd that go? Success? Would you consider it a success?
Oh, yeah, huge. It was bigger than we anticipated, but not big enough where it was like we're going to get shut down by the fire marshals. It was,
good.
For putting a show together in 45 days, I think we did fucking great.
That's amazing.
And all the vendors and artists were happy. We're planning part 2 for next June 1st.
June 1st.
Inside Industry City.
Same place?
Same place. Pretty much all the vendors are coming back, but we'll have Nick Shev will be joining us, which we're excited about. Mark Dos Santos, another great kaiju artist, and BXE buttons and pins. He does a lot of cool kaiju enamel pins.
Nice.
So we're excited. We have some meetings coming up, and we have some other stuff that we are planning in conjunction with the show. So more of that will be revealed when we get more information and more confirmation of it. But yeah, it's been great, man. And we had Subaraya's participation, and they want a more like a bigger hand in getting involved with the show next go around. So we're excited about that, to have their involvement with us. And it was pretty great, man. And just want to thank all the writers and actors for going on strike and giving me the time to put this together.
Are you going to do it
Appreciate
next
you
year?
guys.
Yeah.
It was a very good financial endeavor for me to partake in. So we hope we can do it every year, and we hope it becomes like a 2, hopefully 3-day show, and we can get guests and bigger screenings and such. And but baby steps. We got to take it. Baby steps.
Mark your calendars, everybody. What is it?
June 1st, 2024.
Yeah.
And it won't be a week before Comic-Con, because I am never doing that again.
Oh God.
Oh Jesus.
I was doing Comic-Con the following week, and people were coming to my table, and I just wasn't even making eye contact. I'm like, what the fuck do you want?
Just put out a show, yeah.
I was just so tired.
No, that's fantastic. I think it'll grow, and it's great to get one under the belt, right? Because now you know what you could do.
It was fun, man. I mean, I was pretty tuned up alcohol wise.
Nice.
And it was weird. It felt like a wedding day. You plan a wedding.
Sure.
It's like a year to plan it, except I did it in like 30 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, meeting people, and we were just making fucking money like crazy. I mean, it was great. It was so much fun, man. It was so much fun.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Whenever tickets go on sale, let us know. We'll help promote, spread the word. I know it's
absolutely
quite a bit away.
Nice.
Ruggs, where can the people find you online?
You can find me on X, where me and Elon Musk will be giving Disney the finger.
Yes.
Tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, he don't give a shit.
And at Really Rug Boy.
They're not advertising on your platform anymore, Elon.
No.
Amongst other people.
Don't try and blackmail him.
Look, all that shit can be found in the episode description on our website, jockandnerd.com. Most important thing you can do, share this show, spread it around, share it with your Godzilla fans.
Yeah, make your mom watch -1.
Yeah, she will love it. She will love it for the character story. I'm telling you, everyone will love it.
Show it to your mom.
Thanks.
How can we never do, before I forget, you always do like, where can the listeners find you, but you never do it for Tony. How come you never do it for Tony?
Anthony, where can the listeners find you? I don't even know what the answer is.
At your mom's house.
Yeah, I'm in the basement. Your mom's basement.
At Lipsticks over on.
You find me
by
coming
Link-
home from your mom's house.
That's the answer I wanted, but you never do that.
Yeah, because
there's like it's ripe for material.
Anthony
too.
doesn't want to be found. online.
Exactly. There's no reason.
I know that, but you can have so much fun with that. Like, where were
Okay,
you?
I'm gonna have to
where can you
torture
be
it.
found? Well, tonight I'll be at McSorley's, and tomorrow
I
I'll
like
be
that.
up to some chick's
You're right.
ass.
You're right. It's low hanging fruit, and I've been missing it.
Yeah, you really been blowing
All
it.
right. I blew it. Oh, speaking of,
He's
I
ripe.
offered you a chance to be a cop, and you blew it.
I watched that yesterday. It's so good.
But I'm gonna have to
It's
work
so
that
fucking-
bit in. Just another bit. Anyways, thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a
We'll
nerd.
peep you next time.
Go join the Patreon.
My balls was hot. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Oh, here it is.
Run! It's Godzilla!
Way to play that right at the end.
Wow, good timing there.